Good afternoon, I'm Tyler Danberg. In Game 1 of the Eastern Conference second round, the Cleveland Cavaliers trailed by as many as 18, cut the lead to 3 in the fourth, but fell to the Detroit Pistons 111-101 Tuesday. Donovan Mitchell led with 23 points for the Cavs, who will look to even the series Thursday at 7 in Detroit. College football, the American Football Coaches Association pitched 4 changes to condense the future seasons, including the end of conference title games, reducing open weeks from 2 to 1, keeping an exclusive window for the Army-Navy game with playoff games that same day, and reducing the minimum number of days between games to no fewer than 6. In the MLB, per reports, Astros All-Star shortstop Carlos Correa will undergo season-ending ankle surgery after injuring it in batting practice before Tuesday's win over the Dodgers. This update sponsored by RCDRV Supercenter in Heath, Delaware, and Pataskala, or at rcdrv.com. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Nooner funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
And here we go. Welcome in to another edition of Rothman and Ice. I'm Matty Ice. On the board doing his thing per usual is TLC. And to my right today, ladies and gentlemen, making his return to the noon to 3 spot, the one and only Bobby Carpenter. Bobby, what's up, big dog? How you feeling, man? It's great to see you.
Feels great. You know, usually I kind of take a little dip in here, say hi. But today we get the full Monty, the full 3 hours. So excited to be back on here with you for the full show. It's going to be a lot of fun. Our guy AR, I was texting him, sent him something with our guy Chick Harley from Northern Illinois, and I didn't think he'd respond. And then he got back to me within a minute. I'm like, there's no phones allowed at Bushwood, sir. And said, we're still in the clubhouse, so I'm safe. So we're getting ready to take the course up there. Little media day. Rothman's going to talk about how bad his back hurts, then go out and shoot like a 73. Tour conditions. Like the year he beat Tiger Woods. Shot like an 80. Tiger shot like an 83 the last day. Why not?
It's incredible. So, our guy AR and Tim Hall, Adam King, Dom Taberry, some other members of the media are out at Muirfield today at Jack's place because it's media day. And I watched AR yesterday when I was leaving carry out the trophy. So technically, Bob, he still is the champ.
Is this like WWE? To see walking like that on his shoulder?
Whole bunch of pyro when he walks through the clubhouse today up there at Jack's place. So, not going to be surprised at all if AR has himself a good outing. Hope you guys are having a nice start to your day as well. No Shefty today. We're going to have Shefty tomorrow. He's got some stuff going on in his world, but we got some nice guests lined up for you. 1:30, Sam Amico, senior NBA writer for HoopsWire.com. He'll join us to talk about the Cavs, NBA playoffs, and a lot more. Then at 2:30, we'll talk all things college football with Brad Crawford from CBS Sports. You miss anything that we do from noon to 3 here on Rothman and Ice, wherever you get your podcast, all you got to do is type in Rothman and Ice. Everything we do from noon to 3. We'll be waiting there for you. Subscribe to the podcast as well. TLC, what's going on, man? How you feeling today?
Oh, hello. 3, 2, 1. Microphone is on. I'm all good back here.
Good,
as long as my technical difficulties don't get in the way.
Yeah,
it's good.
It's great, man.
Overcome, TLC.
I know. See, we got to be resilient on this show.
You know what?
We are.
I tell my kids, nobody cares.
Yep.
They just want to hear. They just want to see a good product. Like playing sports. It's like, you think people care?
No.
I mean, James Harden may be sick or something. He may have some personal issues. That's why he had 9 turnovers last night or whatever the heck he had. Do you think that they're going to give him like the Miami Hurricanes? Will he get to wear the turnover chain? Is it like the shame bell? They put that on you. Whoever leads the team in turnovers.
I love the turnover chain.
It's like that time that Darius Garland was hurt.
You missed 4 straight games, Darius Garland. Limp your ass out there no matter which way you got to do it.
Oh, I love it.
You know what I think is a little too much, though? Is I don't remember what team was doing it, Bob, but somebody brought out like a hoop, like a basket.
Oh, yeah, they'd go like
and we're doing 360 dunks between the legs. And I'm like, all right, that's a step too far. Turnover chain I'm here for. Sometimes in baseball, you'll see like a fur coat come out for a celebration. But a basketball hoop on the sideline.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Was it Pitt?
No,
was it them? I can't remember who brought out the basket.
I can't imagine Narduzzi being okay with that, but maybe. Who knows?
How about Georgia with the spiky shoulder pads?
I'm in on that. I think that's a good one. Yeah, I think that's a good one.
And then somebody had a throne. Was it Colorado?
Did they bring out a throne?
Somebody had a throne on the sideline.
You're right.
And you went and sat in it when you got
Iron
an
throne?
interception. Yeah.
Made with a million swords.
Are you where's Bodie at on his Game of Thrones trek right
That's
now?
a great question.
His journey.
Let me pull this up. So what I do is I go through the episodes, like, because if you go into Wikipedia, they have the breakdown of like what's happening in every episode. Because I don't ever want to spoil it for him, you know.
Uh-huh.
And I'll send him some things, but I usually only send him things that I know that he hasn't seen yet. And so he's in the middle of, I believe, I think he started season 5. Actually, The Mountain and the Viper. He's at the point now where Lord Peter Baelish is arranging Sansa's marriage to the now legitimized Ramsay Bolton. And
my God.
He goes, man, Sansa she gets through a lot. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's a rough situation.
It is
for her.
terrible, especially when she has to lock
Joffrey,
in
and
with
then
Raw. My
he tries to
goodness.
marry her to Tyrion, and the next thing you know, she's with Littlefinger, and then now he's pawning her off to Ramsay, like the two sickest guys in the show.
She's got a case of all the characters in that entire series as someone that went through the most. If we power rank the people that had the worst experiences on Game of Thrones, she's got to be, I would think, in the top 5 based off of having to be locked in with Ramsay and Joffrey as well. So, listen, it's funny that we brought this up because you and I, before the show, were talking about when you're on a plane, certain shows or movies that are inappropriate to watch when obviously someone is sitting next to you. And I think, Bob, if I had a flight tomorrow morning and I'm downloading stuff on my iPad, there would be hesitation when I got to Game of Thrones. It would bring me pause.
Episodes would be okay. The first couple seasons, a lot of brothels. The killing's one thing, but a lot of the just brothel area things.
Yeah, I don't think Game of Thrones is okay on a plane. I don't think so. I think it's out of bounds. That's a party foul.
Listen, you got the headphones on. Whatever's on your screen is your business. Other people want to dip in. They're taking the risk.
Are there any other shows or movies that you can think of that you'd be like, that bring you some pause when it comes to your entertainment on a plane?
Yeah, it would have to be highly visual because it can't be like Pulp Fiction has a lot of illicit language, but like the visual element of it isn't crazy.
American Pie, The Naked Mile.
The Naked. I don't think I've ever seen that.
Speaking of American Pie, while you're thinking of that, one of the famous women from, I think, the first movie in the pie scene.
Oh, yeah.
I believe she's back in the news cycle
OnlyFans.
because she created an OnlyFans and made like $1 million in the first week or something like that.
She's like 52 years old.
Crazy.
That popped in my algorithm.
She's Shannon Elizabeth, I think is her name.
I think.
Elizabeth Shannon, one of the two, I
The
believe.
Shove the Flute lady?
No. This is the foreign exchange student.
Okay.
Yes. She's back in the mix. And like Bob said, 50 plus, making $1 million a week now on OnlyFans.
Imagine how much she could have made if she
Back then.
Yeah.
Well, she got divorced, so she was back on the market.
Yeah, you know what?
Exactly.
I guess this would have been one of her earlier moments to be able to do that.
Yeah, we need to fill the
Wasted
coffers.
no time.
Can you think of anything, TLC, TV show or movie, to where you'd be like, I probably shouldn't watch this on a flight?
No, because we weren't really watching a bunch of like those type of movies growing up. Because I'm the oldest of 4. And so in my house, it was like we went at the pace of the youngest.
Oh, yeah. That's
So like
how
we
I
were still
was.
watching like Disney movies when I was in like middle school. So we weren't like growing up. I feel like a lot of people, a lot of families, they kind of go at the pace of the oldest. And so the younger siblings are kind of like accelerated in terms of the content they watch. Our household was the exact opposite. Like we were all restricted to the
other
youngest.
way. I got you.
So it was a very tame household that we grew up in.
Okay.
Believe me, I've tried to make the argument with my wife, like, when is it appropriate for my older kids to start watching Game of Thrones? Because they're like sophomore and freshman in high school. I was like,
okay,
like the stuff that they can watch and see. I don't know if I watched some Game of Thrones with my parents. I would put the Spartacus series on HBO or Showtime.
That gets rough.
Yeah, have you seen
that? Gets interesting.
That has a lot of Game of Thrones elements. I watched that with my parents. Like, what am I watching? She's like, you don't understand. My mom's trying. I'm like, this is ridiculous. And that was before we started Game of Thrones. Like,
Oh,
okay.
she was justifying it to you?
Yes.
Oh, it was her idea.
I was like a grown adult. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
but
like
still-
30 years old
but
sitting there with my
still.
mom. Like, this is awkward, Mom. And her and my dad
It
are
is.
sitting there.
'Cause I
watching. The kids
suggested-
can't be in here during this.
They can't. I suggested Game of Thrones to my parents, And it was something that I was never comfortable doing, is watching it with them, especially...
No, not the early seasons.
Especially the very first episode.
Oh, yeah, the first two
where it's
episodes.
like, wait a minute, they're brother and sister. What is going on here? Like, it's something I was never comfortable with. A show I'm watching right now that I wouldn't feel good about watching on a plane is Euphoria.
Oh, yeah, that looks...
Euphoria's got a lot going on, to say the least, with Zendaya and Sydney Sweeney and that crew. Like, that show's a wild... Anything HBO, honestly, now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
Because, HBO, they don't care. Like, they're going to give you everything and then some on that. So, yeah, so I'll go Thrones. I'll go Euphoria. Let us know in the chat. Hit us up on Twitter.
We're getting 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah, that's a good call.
I've seen all that.
Showgirls.
Showgirls. Now, that's a blast from my past.
I'm about to say, I don't know what that is.
Oh, yeah, that's...
I can imagine, but...
What's her name from Saved by the Bell's in it? And, yeah, I think Demi Moore might be in it, too. It's pretty aggressive.
I'm going to use my incognito browser.
Yeah, dark mode. Yeah. That's where you live, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just in the shadows.
Like lurking. Batman, yeah.
Exactly.
Like Batman just grew up in the
Master
shadows.
of whispers over there.
Exactly. So let us know. We'd love to hear from... What else? Oh, what'd you say?
Oh, no, I'm just Googling it. 1995 erotic drama.
Yeah, I think
erotic drama. That's great.
Elizabeth Berkley.
Yeah, Elizabeth Berkley.
Gina Gershon.
What year again did you say?
95.
95. Okay. So, yeah, let us know. We'd love to hear from you guys about that.
Despite a negative theatriral and critical consensus, Showgirls enjoyed success on the home video VHS market.
Yeah. Big surprise.
It's good stuff. Hey, coming up next, questions about a former Buckeye ceiling in the NFL need to be put to bed, according to one player. We'll get into that next. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
The sound of Paul Keels calling a Buckeye game is erotic.
Oh, yes.
Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hey, Central Ohio, Andrew from Home Team Solutions, and we buy houses for cash. If you've got a house you need to sell, this is your season. Inherited, behind on payments, just over it? Whatever brought you here, we can help. We buy as is, we cover all closing costs, and there are 0 commissions, period. Just a fair cash offer, and you choose your closing date. People are making moves right now, and we make it simple to be one of them. One call is all it takes. We'll get you a fair cash offer, fast, no pressure, no obligation. Hundreds of your neighbors have already sold the easy way, and we've got 5-star reviews and BBB A+ rating to back it up. Take what you want, leave what you don't. We're based right here in Columbus, and we're ready when you are. Call us at 614-962-SELL. That's 614-962-7355 or visit selltohometeam.com. Home Team Solutions, local, trusted, family owned. Call 614-962-SELL. That's 614-962-7355.
Sun, splashes, and nonstop fun await at Zoombezi Bay.
Get your season pass for unlimited thrills,
including our all-new conservation tower. Buy now at ZoombeziBay.com.
Hey, it's Anthony Rothman. Get up to $750 cash back when you refinance your auto loan with Telehio Credit Union. Visit telehio.org to learn more.
Offer valid until June 30th, subject to credit approval. Restrictions apply. Telehio is open to all in Central and Southwestern Ohio. Federally insured by NCUA.
The great thing about Atlas Butler is they do it all. Heating, cooling, plumbing. Look, I'm busy with work. I don't have time to wait around or deal with lots of people. One company, one call, and they do it all. Wonder if they'll clean out my inbox. Seriously, offer that service. Please.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
More and more orthopedic surgeons around the country are taking a new look at regenerative medicine as an alternative.
Everybody that I've talked to, my colleagues around the country, are excited about the upside and think that this is the way medicine is going in the future.
That's orthopedic surgeon Dr. Ray Tessner, who's now at QC Kinetics, treating patients with natural biologics, giving lasting joint pain relief with no drugs and no surgery.
I like the fact that it's natural. I like the fact that it's safe.
At QC Kinetics, they take highly concentrated healing agents from your own body and put them in your hurting joints with the goal of healing and repairing damaged tissue.
QC Kinetics has become a leader in the regenerative medicine field. Their products are the best available out there right now.
Get lasting relief from joint pain today.
Regenerative medicine is going to be a big part of the future.
Get your free consultation today at QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Call today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Would it be convenient for you if you could simply take what you want and leave the rest behind? Great, I'll buy it. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, foreclosures, commercial properties. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Call today and speak with me, John Kozik, for an all-cash offer and the help you need. At 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000, TurboTrackRealty.com.
The Fan is headed to the Memorial. Are you ready for 30 hours of live coverage? Oh, it's true, baby.
Sponsored by The Waterworks and Header Plumbing, Drain, Heating, and Cooling. TheWaterworks.com.
The best Memorial coverage. The Fan. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Cloudy skies eventually become mostly sunny throughout the day, with our temperatures getting up into the upper 50s to low 60s, and then for tonight, becoming mostly clear overnight with our lows into the upper 30s to low 40s. For Thursday, we will see clouds increase, but overall a pretty lovely day with temperatures in the upper 50s to low 60s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 weather impact forecast.
We've been your Jackets flagship station since day one. All the goals, all the action, all the memories. Your home for the Columbus Blue Jackets, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
You're listening to Roastman and the Icebreaker right here on 97.1, the Fanification.
Appreciate you, Prez. Appreciate you. Welcome back into Rothman and Ice. Matty Ice in the house. Bobby Carpenter filling in for our guy AR today. Hope everybody's having themselves a great Wednesday. Got an email during the break, Bobby, that said anything with sex scenes is not allowed on a plane.
As per who? The FCC?
According to this email
FAA?
that I got.
I've never seen that in any literature that I've been provided on an airplane. I've flown a lot.
Any movie or TV shows that have sex scenes in them, they think it's a party foul on a flight.
That's fine. They can think whatever they like. I mean, I understand if I have like a child beside me.
Yeah.
But they don't have to watch it. You know, just because it's there. It's not like. So the reason I brought this up is Bo, they were talking about it. There was a teammate of mine who, when he was going around and watching a lot of award shows, this was or going to about like awards and stuff, that we didn't have, you had iPods back then, but you had portable DVD players. And he would watch what they would refer to, or he would refer to as flicks, which was a common term back in the day for adult cinematography. And he would watch those on his portable DVD player in an aisle seat with the sound on.
Come on, man.
Dead serious. Dead serious.
With the sound on?
I had other teammates that had gone that confirmed this for me, and he goes, because I was like 3 rows behind him, I could hear it. Okay. He was the flight attendant.
That's a finable offense. Finable offense.
Told Bo, he goes, that's diabolical. And I'm like, well, a lion does not concern himself with the opinions of sheep.
That's one way to put it.
And that was sound up. That was back before they had the rules. Like, please, if you're going to watch a movie, put the headphones in.
That should be a rule everywhere. Anywhere you're.
Why did DeMarcus Ware do that?
It wasn't DeMarcus.
Why did Romo do that?
I'm not going to tell you who it was.
Why did Miles Austin do that?
I'll let you guys know who it is. Okay. I'll tell you off air.
He mentioned Miles Austin. Miles Austin.
Yeah.
Kim Kardashian. Who was he dating that was a celebrity at the time? Or am I making that up completely, that Miles was dating someone in the public eye?
I don't know that he dated Kim.
I thought he dated somebody pretty
He ended up
popular,
marrying his college girlfriend. So he dated Stacy, and then they broke up, and then they ended up getting back together and were married.
Austin briefly dated Kim Kardashian in 2010.
There you go.
Okay.
Which is really out of balance, like not out of balance, just out of character for him. Because Austin, or Miles, I don't know why I kind of lost. Miles is a great dude. He doesn't really seem like her type, and she definitely doesn't seem like his type. But I mean, he was probably just feeling himself a little bit because he got a big, huge deal,
and she was probably at the peak of her stardom then.
Yeah, peak of her powers.
Yeah,
I mean,
back then. So yeah, like, hey, I'm dating Kim Kardashian.
I guess. Yeah, I mean, you go to a couple award shows, do the Hollywood thing for a little bit.
Exactly.
You realize,
ride on planes in the aisle seat.
Yeah, no, when you're riding with that, you're probably riding in private planes.
Jets, yeah.
Yeah, he would have just been coming off a 1,300-yard season.
Okay. Yeah.
So he started acting a little different in his dating life.
All the guys probably gave him hell for it, because Miles is a great dude. Great dude. His wife's awesome, Stacey.
You're watching a show right now that I think would be a little dicey on a plane.
It was not anything like I expected. I know I've talked to you guys about it. I think I'm one episode into season 2, but it's another show. I like Marvel stuff. I like superheroes. And then it had one of my buddies in there, Chase Crawford, who is Romo's brother-in-law, The Boys.
Yeah.
And I think maybe you had talked about it. And maybe my phone heard you bring it up to me, but it was like recommended. You keep mentioning this Euphoria stuff, and now it's like the #1 show every time I click on.
Into it.
Watch Euphoria.
Yeah, get into it.
Since all my devices, they all communicate and conspire against you. So it's up there. But The Boys, it's aggressive. More aggressive than I thought. So
grown-up version of a superhero show for the folks that don't know what Bobby's talking about.
Yes.
I think that's the safest way to describe it, but it definitely
okay, here's what it is.
They take it there.
It's The Boys is to Marvel as what Bad Santa is to Elf.
Great comp. Great comp right there. I think we leave it there. I think that's a phenomenal comp right
Elf, great family movie, good for the kids. Bad Santa.
Yeah.
Nope.
Kids ain't watching that.
No.
Kids ain't watching that. Hopefully, we're going to be watching a former Buckeye in Carnell Tate make a lot of noise down there in Tennessee, linking up now with Cam Ward. But, Bob, as you've heard, and we've been talking about it, going into the draft and coming out of the draft there's some people out there that are questioning whether or not he can step into the Titans facility, step into that offense, and be a no-doubt #1 in the league. Somebody that was questioning that out of the gate a little bit was one Malik Neighbors, New York Giants wide receiver. Let's go back to that before you hear from somebody that's coming to bat for Carnell.
Malik Neighbors, your thought on Carnell Tate. And be real. I want him to come to LSU. Coming out of high school, I was there when he visited. And I wanted him to come there. He's a very talented player. Like you say, can high point the ball. But I don't think that, this is a draft to draft a receiver. I just don't think that high. Do you see him as a #1 in the NFL? No, I don't see him being a #1. He hasn't been the #1 on the team that he's been on. You have to be a #1 on the team that you're coming from to be a #1 receiver that the team that you're going to, because they're going to trust you a lot to be the first person that they throw the ball to, the first person they count on to win the rep. You have to be that. You can't be the second.
JSN was never #1.
Bro, JSN was different.
Okay. Hold on. No, you said you got to be #1 on the team that you're coming from. JSN was not #1. Bro, you got to understand, the #1 player will probably be the #1 pick next year.
He wasn't the #1 on the team he went to first. DK was.
Yeah, but the person that was the #1 is probably going to be the #1 pick next year.
Jeremiah's special.
So there's that.
So here's what else I would say, because you want to take it close to home. Malik Neighbors went to LSU, obviously. Justin Jefferson was never #1.
That 2019 offense, there was another guy part of that by the name of Jamar Chase that was pretty damn good.
He didn't play in 2020, so he was always #2. So how did Minnesota know that he could be #1?
Right, and that was Micah Parsons chiming in. That's the guy that you heard bringing up kind of the Ohio State situation.
You can take it even closer to home. You could have said, so you knew immediately that Brian Thomas Jr. couldn't possibly be a #1 in the NFL. Because he also went first round with Malik Neighbors.
Good point. Let's hear from a former Buckeye, Emeka Egbuka, who's doing his thing down there in Tampa. Here's his response to not specifically Malik Neighbors, but some of the noise that's out there about Tate.
I met Carnell Tate. I mean, wonderful. Can't wait to cheer for him and sort of welcome him into the NFL from a fan perspective. There's this talk that he doesn't have the experience at wide receiver 1 because he had you and Jeremiah Smith as teammates. What do you think of that story?
I mean, yeah, we can see the correlation. I mean, that was the same talk that was about me when I was coming out of the draft. So, I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's all semantics. If you can play football, you can play football, and Carnell Tate can play football. So, we're going to see what he can do come September.
You know what this kind of reminds me of, Bobby, is when you obviously remember when Calipari was rocking and rolling at Kentucky and the rosters were just loaded. And then there were guys that would get drafted high like Devin Booker and Cat and all those guys. And you look back at some of the numbers at Kentucky and you're like, it's good. But there was questions about, can those guys go to the NBA and be, no doubt, number ones? And I think sometimes your production can be limited to a certain degree just based off of how much talent is around you in college. That doesn't mean that you can't go on to the NFL or NBA and be asked to do more and not accept that challenge and succeed. And I think Carnell's got the skill set to be able to do that in the league.
I would almost say that it's more impressive as long as those guys, you see that they have the ability to be able to do that and to be part of a team, because you knows what you're going to be asking them to do as you bring them in and what their role is going to be. Yeah, you can be the number one, but you might not be doing A, you might not be doing B. There might be other things that you like to do that you have to give up because someone else is maybe better or it's just better for the team. And so my argument is for like Carnell Tate or like Devin Booker or guys like that, Cat, dudes, when you talk about basketball or football, is they were okay doing what they were doing. Their ego wasn't so big that it filled the room and there was no room for anyone else to breathe. So that was my thing when people ask me about Carnell Tate. I go, the guy competes his butt off. Like, he's a really talented athlete, really good receiver. I go, have you ever heard him complain about not getting more targets?
Not once.
I go, and you know how many guys in the league, it's all about me. I need more. And the reality is, like, hey, did you win or did you not? Did you do what you were supposed to do? Were they doubling you all the time? Maybe you didn't get as many looks. Maybe you only got 4 or 5 in the game. What did you do with it when it came to you? And did the guy opposite of you, did he get more? Were you able to run the ball better because of it? And so I played with Calvin Johnson. I played with Miles. Miles is a great dude. Never complained. Miles Austin. Played with Terry Glenn. Never complained about anything. Terry was unbelievable. Played with Calvin Johnson. Best of all time, in my opinion. Never complained. Played through injury. He got 4 targets in a game. He got 14 targets in the game. As long as the offense is moving and we're winning and things are going in the right direction, it's all good.
Yeah.
Then conversely, you look across, and I played with Terrell Owens, and there'd be times where, he would be happy when he'd win. He'd be happier when he had, 8 for 120 and 2 TDs. And there'd be times when we lose, and he'd be pretty happy if he had 8 for 120 and 2 TDs. And that he wouldn't be happy if we won and maybe he had 5 targets, 3 catches for 48 yards. It's like, man, we won the game by 21 because they were all over you. Like, that's a testament to how good you are.
No question. And I think, too, I just thought of this. You look at some of the receivers that have left Ohio State and gone on to the NFL. There haven't really been a whole bunch of the, quote, diva wide receivers that have come out of this program. When you just talk about the demeanor of guys and how they go about their business, whether it was Olave, whether it's Marvin Harrison, whether it's Emeka, Carnell, just down the line, we can mention other guys as well, to where you look at how they're wired, Bob, and they aren't guys that are going to create problems, right? And some of the guys that do create problems, to your point about T.O., are great players, right? So there's no really wrong way, I think, that you can go about this. Yes, in time, sometimes the wide receivers that we can talk about, like a Pickens and T.O., that can wear down maybe teammates in a locker room. But the Ohio State guys are showing that they're about that action ball, as Marshawn said back in the day. And it just seems like, for me, Carnell's going to be, my game's going to be loud. And I think the connection between him, Cam Ward, and time will be a good one. Seems like Tennessee was just hell-bent on bringing in any offensive help they could, because there's a lot of smoke right about, hey, they're going to draft Jeremiah Love, and then they obviously didn't have the chance to do that because of Arizona, and then they stick with Carnell, which was a bit of a surprise at 4. But his playmaking ability, Bobby, I think will show itself with more opportunities, and I think he can stamp himself in the NFL as a number 1 wide receiver. Coming up in 2 minutes, what are the Buckeye fans in store for when it comes to Chris Henry this season and beyond? Julian Sand's going to tell you next. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
Don't let a failing sump pump put your home at risk. Right now, get $80 off sump pump replacement with Logan Services. Protect your basement from flooding and get the peace of mind you deserve. Call now. Fast, friendly service, Logan Services.
Ready to plan the ultimate weekend getaway? Start day 1 at the Columbus Zoo. Then crank up the excitement on day 2 at Zoombezi Bay. Grab your Columbus Zoo and Zoombezi Bay 2-day pass now at columbuszoo.org.
When you saw your heating bills this winter, did you think this is out of control? The problem is your house is leaking money, and the only thing higher than your heating bills are your cooling bills. Steve here from USA Insulation. Let us fix your energy bill problem for good. If you aren't foam insulated, you really aren't insulated. For $99 a month, interest-free, we'll foam your home and help cut those energy bills. 529-2440 or USAinsulation.net.
USA Insulation. Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to Markdowns for Miles at AutoZone.
Thanks. Is oil marked down?
Save up to $15 when you buy 5 quarts and a filter.
And fuel treatment?
2 for $9 on Lucas.
Brake pads?
Marked down to free.
Free?
Get free Duralast brake pads when you buy 2 Duralast rotors.
That's several markdowns.
For many more miles.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Jake from State Farm. I just beat my running PR, so I'm celebrating with the Banana Bonanza smoothie.
Hey, and you can keep celebrating when you create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. Go bananas.
I will. Hey, make it a large.
Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Rothman Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Dog friendly. And if you ain't down with that, this is Rothman and Ice.
Welcome back in. Bobby Carpenter in the house today for AR. You know, football never sleeps around these parts, Bobby, and it's crazy, right? Because I was talking to one of my friends yesterday about this. There's just so much access now to players and coaches and just so many different platforms that we get so much good information all the time. And Julian Sand was on the Triple Option podcast with Urban and Mark Ingram. And they talked about a lot, obviously, and it was a good interview, and we'll bring you some of that sound right now. But I know one player a lot of Buckeye fans are excited to see this year is Chris Henry Jr. And he's walking into a situation to where there's going to be a lot on his plate. But with what we've heard about him so far and seen from him throughout his high school years and all of that, the upside is definitely there. But Julian's obviously been around him. He's worked with him, and here he is on kind of what he expects from Chris and the player he thinks he can become.
You got a new toy, too, with Chris Henry Jr. in the fold. How has that relationship grown, and what should the Big Ten and the nation expect from him this season?
Yeah, I think he's a great player. Got a lot of potential, and had a great spring this spring, and it's been fun to kind of build that relationship with him and build that connection on the field.
How do you build that relationship? What are some of the things that you do on the field, off the field to get a tighter bond?
Yeah, I think it's just getting the reps with him, whether it's 7-on-7, whether it's team. And then off the field, you really just got to spend time with those guys. Just build that connection. I think as an offense this spring, we've done a good job of spending time. Kind of continue that over the summer of just bonding and doing off the field team events and just going out to eat, going out to do things.
Bobby, to me, the quicker that Julian's saying trust Chris Henry, the better I think this experience will be out of the gate, right? Like if he knows that, hey, if it's week 2. Late in the game against Texas, all the work that we put in the offseason, that I can go to him on a critical third down, let's say for whatever reason Jeremiah is getting double covered or whatever the look is. And the trust, I think, for a freshman to his quarterback, I think is going to be big, like right out of the gate, because the talent is there. It's not that. I just think it's about those little intricate details that we may not see as fans. But I think if they can check that box early on, then I think the success can start to roll for Chris out of the gate.
Yeah, it's a function of getting comfortable with it, seeing the field the same way, like knowing, because some of those back shoulders and a lot of these routes are feel with the coverage of what you're seeing, how you're winning, what you're doing against it, where you break those routes off, where you like the football. And so it just takes a lot of time. It takes some rapport. And what's tough is Chris Henry came in. He's 6'5", tall drink of water. And so he's trying to, A, become a better receiver and hone in on his skills. But B, he's also trying to gain weight. And I think he's probably gained 15 pounds since he's been here. But, he had a frame that for him to go out and compete, And to go against physical corners, like he's going to need that. And he can probably still add another 5 to 7 pounds over the course of the next year. But that's all part of that is understanding how you play, how you feel, how you see things on the field, and seeing those coverages the same way. And also for Chris Henry, just learning to see those coverages. At Ohio State, you're seeing a lot more complex stuff, especially in the spring with Matt Patricia. The stuff that they do and the way they roll coverage, it is hard to determine and discern what exactly you're seeing at times and how tight to run a route, how loose to run a route, and how much to press vertical. Like there's all finding blitzes, making sure you're not the hot, and all these different things. Like there's a lot that goes into it. It's just something that takes some time.
You mentioned his frame, Bobby, at 6'5", and my mind just went to how physically imposing the duo of Chris and Jeremiah will be this year, right? Because we saw that right out of the gate with Jeremiah. Dude came in here as a freshman and looked like a grown man. Now in year 3, he looks absolutely ridiculous, and he's going to go out there and do his thing. But on the opposite of that, you're going to have who we're talking about in Chris Henry and what that could mean to a quarterback as well, right? And some of those 50-50 balls that we can talk about, and those guys can go up and get it, or maybe down in the red zone, like you mentioned, the back shoulder stuff and all of that. Like, I think that absolutely is going to work out well for them. We know the route running's there, the speed is there, and all of that, but what they're going to be able to do against some of these DBs with just their physical presence, their mere presence.
Well, the height
is huge, right?
Yeah, the physicality. Like very few teams are able to roll out guys that are 6'2 plus on both sides.
Yeah.
And they've got Jerquaden Guilford, Brock Boyd. I mean, those guys, they're over 6 feet tall, with 6'2", 6'3". It's funny. They've got some tall guys, and they've got some shorter dudes like Terry McEwen they brought in, speedster. You put in the slot. Brandon Ennis, not as big in the slot.
Legend Bay.
Legend. We'll see what they do with him, running back and receiver. But, yeah, he's more of a slot guy. Phillip Bell, who has played really well this spring. But those guys are a little smaller. But they've got some big guys that you can put on the perimeter that usually are like teams may run corners or may have a guy stick to one side and try to take care of them. Well, very few teams are going to have more than one corner that's over 6 feet tall. I mean, Ohio State recruits a lot of tall corners. Devin Sanchez like 6'2", so they're in a unique space when it comes to that.
Yeah.
But very few teams have the ability to go do that, and so you're going to run a safety over him. But you better hope your safety's 6'2" as well, because it's a jump ball situation. He'll go get it on you if that's the case. And plus now Jeremiah, one of the other things that they're looking, and Cortez Hankton came in here, the conquistador. He was hoping to try to get some more run after the catch, some more catch and run opportunities, and you get a guy like JJ, I mean, he's 225 pounds. Like, tackling him's like tackling a running back. Yeah. And so they're trying to work some of that into the route stuff where, hey, the down-the-field stuff is great. If you catch it for 30 yards and get tackled or score a touchdown, it's awesome. But you can catch it for 7 yards and run it for 23, and it counts the same on the stat sheet.
That's why you look at some of the elite wide receivers in the NFL when it comes to yards. They're pretty high up in yak too, right? Like those guys gaining and moving the chains and picking up those tough yards and helping out your quarterback and offense as a whole. I like when a wide receiver room can be kind of structured like a basketball team, right? Where you got one guy that can do this, one guy that can do that. And you mentioned Legend Bay and them having some optionality there with him, whether it can be some running back stuff, some wide receiver stuff, combination of both. I love those guys in an offense, AR. I mean, Bobby, I'm sorry. Like a guy that you can throw that wrinkle at a defense and that spark. And we saw that a lot in Urban's offense, right, with that H-back role. So if that can come back into this offense a little bit with the guys that we're talking about, you're really on to something there, because that can be that spark plug for your offense to do those jet sweeps and some of the other things within an offense.
It just makes it really multiple and hard, and especially to defend, especially if you have a guy who can play some running back and play some slot receiver. And that's what they're trying to figure out with Legend. And, he got nicked up and, had some injury stuff at the end of spring ball, just soft tissue, nothing crazy. But you need to get him reps to make sure, like, hey, he can handle it. He's got to be able to see it. He's got to be able to feel it. He's got to be able to train over the next 6 weeks to physically add some mass as well, so he can take some of those hits and take some of the pounding. But a lot of it with him is just, the learning curve of how much can you digest and how fast, especially from two positions. But you want to have, and this is when you get to the NFL draft and you start looking at receivers. You're like, well, who's the best receiver? I'm like, well, if you want a downfield speed guy, Jordan Tyson's probably the guy. Like, Mekhi Lemon, he's probably more your slot guy. Carnell Tate, probably more down the field guy. He can work inside. We start looking at these different guys, and they all possess different body types and different skill sets. And so you want to make sure that you have all those options. Like you said, the optionality, like that's a big thing that you want in your wide receiver room is understanding what these guys are good at. And let's try to isolate them and put them in those positions where they can be the best.
What have you thought about quickly just transferring over to Julian? Like now, you know how quickly we turn the page to sports, and now we're doing 2027 mock drafts where his name's not popping up for a few of these. Now, I want to say all of them, but it's not a consensus across the board at the moment that he is a first-round talent. How do you feel about that?
I feel the same way that I felt about it with, Arch Manning coming out this year, Drew Aller coming out this year, Cade Klubnik, and Garrett Nussmeier. I mean, all these guys were supposed to be Heisman Trophy favorites, number 1 picks. And who's the number 1 pick and who won the Heisman Trophy?
Fernando Mendoza.
Somebody that nobody knew about. And I have to listen to everybody. Oh, he was an elite guy coming out of Cal. Really? If he was that good, why didn't Miami take him instead of Carson Beck? Like there were other teams that have very deep pockets. And Indiana was coming off one good year. And I'm not going to besmirch that, but it wasn't like Indiana was a college football power. Like they'll be back. They just need another quarterback. Like there was no proof of concept. And so there's a lot of growth that can happen. Everybody thinks like, these guys are just going to take the step. And that's the thing with Drew Aller. Like, I'm not banging on him. I really like the kid. He's an Ohio guy, and I hope that he has a lot of success. He just hasn't shown me a ton. Now, maybe he could have down the stretch this year if he wouldn't have gotten hurt. I don't know. But I know this, like, when they put Grunkenmeyer in there, they were almost, you could argue, maybe a little better. He did some things a little better. Now, maybe he didn't have those raw physical skills. You're talking about Julian looking a year out with all these other guys. Like, we're just assuming that they're going to go out and throw for 4,000 yards and rush for 800.
Doesn't work that way.
No.
Doesn't work that way. And for Julian, look, he's got plenty of runway left. This is not the end of the world. If he comes out and showcases the accuracy that we saw from last year, adds a little bit more to his bag with his ability to hurt a defense with his legs, I think he will be in that conversation when we get back to draft season next year. Coming up, a debate in the NFL that involves a former Buckeye that seemed to be put to bed has resurfaced again. What has changed? We'll talk about it next. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
If you consider yourself a Buckeye fan, you've come to the right place. This is your heritage sports talker and home of Ohio State Athletics, The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Hey, it's D. Miller. Spring is here. If you're still feeling exhausted with no energy and no sex drive, it may be time to head to Low T Center. 1 in 4 men has low testosterone. At Low T Center, you can book a free testosterone test to see if you qualify for TRT customized to your body by expert providers. You can even have your treatment shipped to your door. Low T Center has the highest quality testosterone, and their providers tailor it for you so you know it's effective. Book your TRT appointment today at lowtcenter.com. That's lowtcenter.com.
Grilling season is here, and nobody does it better than Billiards Plus. Fire up your backyard with top-of-the-line grills from the biggest names in outdoor cooking, perfect for game day or any day. And when the party heads inside, Billiards Plus has you covered with pool tables, shuffleboard, game tables, and more. Everything you need to build the ultimate hangout, from backyard cookouts to game room showdowns. Make your home the MVP. Billiards Plus, grills, games, and good times. Family owned and operated. Check them out online or on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Thousands of students every year choose Columbus State Community College, earning degrees that open doors to in-demand jobs, stable careers, and real earning power. Columbus State is making Central Ohio stronger. Apply today at cscc.edu.
No one plans to get into an accident, but when it happens, we strive in making life easier for you. This is Justin Hinderer. The Hinderer Motor Company Collision Center is ICAR certified and certified by many manufacturers to provide the best quality repair available. All of our repairs come with a lifetime warranty. We have our own 24/7 towing service so you never have to wait. Plus, we offer on-site rental cars for every lifestyle. At Hinderer Motor Company, we love what moves you.
As the saying goes, trust is earned, never given. When it comes to your roof, who you trust truly matters. At Newman Roofing, we're more than just a business. We're a local, family-owned company built on honesty, integrity, and hard work. From the very beginning, these core values have shaped the way we do business, ensuring a customer experience that's second to none. Our dedication to quality has earned us the trust of thousands of homeowners across Central Ohio. At Newman Roofing, excellence isn't just a word, it's our promise to you. From the moment we step foot on your doorstep to the final handshake, we strive to deliver an experience that keeps you calling back for more. Whether you need a roof repair or a full replacement, our team at Newman Roofing is here to protect what matters most. After all, when your name is on it, it just means more. So give us a call today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit us online at newmanroofing.com. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof.
Hey, it's Austin Ward. Listen to The Beat with Austin and Byrne, now powered by the Waterworks and Header Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Get the latest Buckeye news, insights, and unbeatable analysis every day. Don't miss a moment. Stream The Beat with Austin and Byrne, sponsored by the Waterworks and Header Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. This is the time of year to enjoy some nice weather. Usually the temperature's pretty good. Those nice spring days where you get outside, you just feel that breeze. It's awesome. But coming soon, it's the hot, hot months of summer, and we know in those months, you're going to want your air conditioning running. You're going to want your windows to keep that cold air inside your house. You don't want to lose money running your air conditioner constantly, all because your builder grade or old windows are just not getting the job done. That's where Window Nation comes in. Window Nation's got their buy 4 windows, get 4 free sale going on now. You can replace all the windows in your home for summer and get half of them for free. Plus, you can get 0 down payment and no payments or interest for 2 years. And, of course, all Window Nation windows come with a lifetime warranty, so you can relax knowing your home is protected far into the future. Don't wait to put an end to your window problems. Schedule your fast free consultation now. WindowNation.com. Buy 4 windows, get 4 free sale going on now. WindowNation.com.
Catch Ohio State baseball all season long on The Fan 2. You can find the magical land of The Fan 2 by tuning into 1460 on your AM dial or clicking on The Fan's HD2 feed. Tyler Danberg thanks you. Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan. All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Hitting a hole in one into your ear hole. Ooh. This is Rothman and Ice.
That it is. Welcome back in. Bobby Carpenter in the house today for AR. I got a tweet during the break, Bobby, and they want to know. They're asking us, is Love Island acceptable?
I've never seen Love Island.
Okay. I think it's...
That's a reality show, correct?
Yeah. I think it's okay. You'll have some hooking up going on, but you're not seeing anything. You're not seeing anything. TLC, I think Love Island's good. I think we were in the clear with that.
I think that's definitely out.
You think Love Island's out?
Oh, for sure.
Why?
Because there's makeouts like every 30 It's not just like, oh, there's a makeout in the show. It's like that is the show.
I think making out is good, though. I think that's okay. That's better than what we would see in Game of Thrones.
No, it's definitely different than that, but it does add up, I think. Like over the aggregate. Like individually he's making out to a lesser degree.
We're worried about people seeing making out? Is that really a thing?
I think that's why I think Love Island's good.
It can get pretty aggressive. Like the clothes stay on, barely. The clothes stay on.
Yeah, but I mean, we're seeing...
It's not something that I would want to watch in front of I wouldn't want other people to watch me watch that.
Here's what it comes down to. You don't want other people to know that you're watching that.
Oh, I'll tell people right now I watch that shit.
Yeah, I'm in on Love Island too.
You don't want them to watch you see it, because then they're watching your reaction. Or am I watching the screen, or am I watching you watch the screen?
I think it's good, man.
My correct sweatpants on that day.
Come on.
Are you a sweatpants guy at the strip club?
No, I've never been to a strip club.
Can you even get in with sweatpants on?
I don't know.
Was there a dress code?
There's a couple guys I know that have worn sweatpants.
That
to the strip
seems
club.
dicey.
Yeah, of course it does.
That seems dicey. I think you would have to be somebody to get away with that.
This guy wasn't. He did it in Vegas.
Okay.
I go, I didn't go. I'm like, you really wearing those? He's like, why not? And I'm like, see if they let you in. So one of my friends.
Casual Fridays?
So my first, I get down to Dallas, and a bunch of my buddies want to come down, and their girlfriends, who most of them converted them into wives. So it was successful.
Okay.
And I've got, Courtney's lives down there with me, and we're engaged. And during the day, like, I'm at practice. And this is why I watch Entourage, and I see these guys. Like, my friends are respectful. I'm like, listen, dude, you guys can stay up and party. They came in on Wednesday for a Sunday game, or I think so. I want to say, and I'm like, we can do some stuff. We can go to dinner and like hang out a little bit. Like, I got to play and I got to go to practice. So if you think that I'm going to be hanging out with you till like 1:30 in the morning drinking, that's not happening. And you're going to keep it down so I can go to bed. So you guys can hang out, get in the pool, hot tub, do everything you need to do, have a good time. But I don't care what you do during the day. And I think the girls were maybe going shopping. And one of my buddies, I get back, my search engine's just filled with nonsense. Like Dallas is like known, I guess, for its strip clubs, is what they always said. That's what AJ told me when they would come in. The coach McCarthy's like, no, don't be going to the strip clubs and all this. And so I guess they want to go to a strip club like during the day. Like on a Thursday or Friday.
Little matinee action.
So they're like telling me, one of my friends tells me, other buddy called in, he's like, hey, you have a dress code or anything? And the guy was like, well, you got to wear pants. Like, you got to have something on. It's like, all right, that's cool. And I think they ultimately went. They found one, Googling like best brunch and all this, like best buffet. Went there for a little lunch. And
was it BYOB as well?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
That's crazy.
There's some huge adult cabarets, though, in Dallas. They're all right there off Northwest Highway. Ironically, like, that's where they put everybody during the Cotton Bowl. The media hotel is right by there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember a few years ago when Jerry Jones got like in a minor car accident, but he got in a car accident on a street that like locals were like, why was he on that street?
Right.
Because
we
apparently
know what's over there.
That street was known to be home to many of those locations.
Oh, man, I do remember that.
Like Northwest Highway.
Yeah, there you go.
Great.
So it's like, why was Jerry Jones driving down that road?
There's two things you do there. You buy alcohol and you go to strip clubs because it used to be like dry everywhere but there. Like that's the only place you could buy like spirits. So you go there and my wife was like, I hate going over there. It's like, go pick up some booze and stuff while I'm at work. She's like, it's just a lot of seedy people.
Oh, man. That's awesome. That is great. Hey, we wanted to get into this, Bobby, because now we're at a point to where when you look back at the 2023 NFL draft right out of the gate, for those that don't remember, it was Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud, then Will Anderson, Anthony Richardson, and Devon Witherspoon rounded out the top 5. But now we're at a point to where you look at Carolina, you look at Houston. Both franchises have picked up the 5th-year option for their quarterbacks. But I think there's some pause when it comes to now CJ and just whether or not they're really going to lock in long term. I think in time, Bobby, they will. I think both of these guys.
Let me play the Rothman role today. Well, we're just going to kind of see how it goes.
He does like to kick the can down the road.
Hey,
he always
wants a chance to earn your deal.
He always wants as much information as he could possibly get.
Yeah.
If AR feels like he's taking a risk, he's probably not going to do the deal.
All the intel.
He's probably not going to do
intel.
How much more intel do you believe both franchises need from their guys to hand them that massive payday?
So what's interesting is I feel like Love played a little better last year than CJ did
Bryce Young.
at the end. Or not.
Yeah, Bryce Young. Yeah.
Sorry. The Bryce Young did.
Yeah.
CJ had that phenomenal rookie year. Absolutely on fire. Comes out, starts it all. They made the playoffs his rookie year, I want to say.
I believe so, yeah.
4,000 yards, 23 TDs, 5 picks. Then you look at the second year, I think they still were in the playoffs. I think they were 10-7. Looked pretty good. 20 touchdowns, 12 picks, 3,700 yards. And then last year you look like, played 14 games, 9-5, still pretty good, 3,000 yards, 19-8, so a little better than maybe he had been before. And then he obviously has the meltdown in the playoffs. Or what he threw, 4 picks?
Those back-to-back games in Pittsburgh and Foxborough were they were brutal to watch, man.
Yes, they were not good.
Right.
Not good at all.
Yeah.
So I'm going to excuse the Foxborough thing a little bit. Sometimes when the wheels fall off, I mean, they fall off in a big way, and it's not a very glamorous thing to see. But I think CJ, that's why this year it's like, hey, go show me. Like, let's work through. We're picking up your 5th year. We believe in you enough. So let's just kind of wait and see. We'll talk about this, and come week 7, 8, or 9, and we're playing well, and you're playing well, then we know what you are. And we feel good about it. And you should, if not, we'll offer you a deal that's maybe not as good if you want to sign that, or we can give you more of a top-of-the-market deal, which is what we believe you are. You just got to play into it a little bit.
I think both guys in time will get a new contract. The money that you're alluding to, that's going to be the interesting part. Are we talking about for one of these guys, specifically CJ? Are we talking about
$50 million a year?
Are we talking about that, or are we talking about a deal like Sam Darnold got, like Baker Mayfield,
30,
something like that? It's all gonna peak and valley at this point as far as the discussion goes and what people think he deserves at the moment because of what happened. And they're going to have, I think, this year again, an elite defense in Houston. And so for CJ, if he just can avoid making those loud mistakes, Bobby, like that was the thing too. Like it got to a point to where it was like, can we just literally not turn the ball over, and we're probably going to win the game. If he can settle back into what he was early on, you have your franchise quarterback. If we're talking again about another dicey season for him, then I think this can get weird. But I don't think it's going to get weird because I think this is what a guy like CJ is going to need to really lock in and hear some of this noise, use it as motivation, and come out in 2026 and be a dude.
Yeah, if he plays well, then it's not a deal.
It's not a discussion, right? No brainer.
If he looks pretty good, then it's all good.
No brainer, absolutely. Coming up after the top of the hour and an update, the face of the NFL, Pat Mahomes, kind of been out of sight, out of mind now for a while due to an injury. How is he recovering from that injury? The GM of the Chiefs will tell you next. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
Question from a listener: do you dopes ever get tired of talking about Ohio State? No. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan.
I love Right Pack Credit Union because they're solution driven. I feel valued as a member.
They're focused on the latest technology and the personal connections.
Experience benefits that go beyond banking with Right Pack Credit Union. Just ask our actual members.
I definitely recommend Right Pack to all my family and friends as a credit union of choice.
Visit one of our Columbus area Right Pack Credit Union member centers near you. Based on individual members' experiences, results may vary.
My husband's an animal in bed.
Well, you know.
Not in the fun way. Think warthog. With a chainsaw.
Snoring and sleep apnea affect over 90 million people, and 1 out of 4 couples sleep in separate rooms. Advent can help. We've been your one-stop solution for nasal congestion, snoring, and sleep apnea for over 20 years. Unlike many other practices, we focus exclusively on these conditions, so you get comprehensive care under one roof. Advent's unique approach can help you breathe and sleep better, and many avoid a CPAP. Plus, most insurance is accepted for our effective 20-minute in-office treatments.
Hey, the only animal you want in your bed is your dog.
Advent. Sleep better. Sleep together. Learn how you can improve your life at adventknows.com.
Enjoy more ways to save at Kroger, like low prices in every aisle. And you can clip and save more with digital coupons in the Kroger app. Plus, you can earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. So it's always easy to save big. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Fuel restrictions apply. See site for details.
You can save big on select varieties of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Gatorade, and more. Select packs are buy 3, get 3 free with your card. Limit 12. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to Markdowns for Miles at AutoZone.
Thanks. Is oil marked down?
Save up to $15 when you buy 5 quarts and a filter.
And fuel treatment?
2 for $9 on Lucas.
Brake pads?
Marked down to free.
Free?
Get free Duralast brake pads when you buy 2 Duralast rotors.
That's several markdowns.
For many more miles.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Jake from State Farm. I just beat my running PR, so I'm celebrating with the Banana Bonanza smoothie.
Hey, and you can keep celebrating when you create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. Go bananas.
I will. Hey, make it a large.
Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Feeling stressed or overwhelmed? Not sure how to get the mental health help you need? We've got your back. Call the Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office at 855-438-6442. We'll help you figure out what mental health benefits may be in your health plan. No more confusion, just the support you deserve. Call the Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office at 855-438-6442.
Introducing
UDF's new Ice Cream Quakes flavors for summer. Get a sugar rush with cotton candy crackle. Try something crunchy and creamy with peanuts and caramel corn. Feel a chili lime kick with mango chili tango. Or go for a summer favorite with peachy cobbler. UDF Summer Ice Cream Quakes. Only at United Dairy Farmers for a limited time.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. After suffering an injury, you may face many hard questions. What will tomorrow bring? Which firm should I choose to represent me and my family? At Morgan & Morgan, we will hold your hand every step of the way. From our one-click sign-up, mobile apps, and 24/7 availability, we make it easy to get your case started right from the comfort of your couch. All firms are not the same. The choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan, for the people. Injured? Dial pound law.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
Wilson, energy bills have been crazy as of late, which has had our phone ringing off the hook. Pella windows give you both a home makeover and often an energy bill makeover.
We hear that all the time at the other window place. We love the makeover. No, wait. We want a do-over. That's what they say. Is do-over and makeover the same thing?
Get the windows that homeowners rated the leading window brand in Columbus at PellaColumbus.com.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios, driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good afternoon, I'm Tyler Danberg. Former Atlanta Braves and Hawks owner and media mogul Ted Turner died today at the age of 87. Born in Cincinnati, he owned the Braves from 1976 to 96, winning a World Series in 95. Turner founded TV networks CNN, WTBS, and TNT, while also launching the Goodwill Games in 1986. MLB Today, Cincinnati visits the Chicago Cubs at 7:40. Brady Singer goes for the Reds against Colin Ray for the Cubs. Also at 7:40, Cleveland travels to Kansas City. Guards turn to Joey Cantillo against Cole Reagans for the Royals. NBA playoffs tonight, Eastern Conference semis, New York hosts Philadelphia at 7, leading 1-0. Western Conference semis, Minnesota visits San Antonio at 9:30, up 1-0. This update sponsored by RCDRV Supercenter in Heath, Delaware, Pataskala, or at rcdrv.com. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Finding the sweet spot between the over and the under. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
Happy Wednesday. Welcome back in. Bobby Carpenter in the building today. We're Rothman and Ice. Quick reminder, you miss anything from our show, don't worry. You can always catch up. Wherever you get your podcast, just type in Rothman and Ice. Everything we do will be waiting there for you. Bottom of the hour, we'll lock in on the Cavs NBA playoffs. Sam Amico, senior NBA writer for hoopswire.com, will join the show. We got the usually what I like to do now, Bobby, is I like to throw a movie on for our guy AR.
Love it.
Today, we've got the second Hunger Games on, I believe.
Yep.
Could you thrive in that world? If Bobby was pushed to that limit, do you think you could thrive?
I honestly am kind of a proponent for it, you know. Well, I think a little discipline in this world, Cole, might go a long way.
Are you more of a proponent for the Hunger Games or the Purge?
Ooh. I mean, the Hunger Games, there's some skill involved, there's some training. And if we're going to do it, let's just televise it, you know. I've long been a proponent. Like, people talk about capital punishment, how expensive prisons are, and all this. You want a great fundraiser? I said, let's start. You've watched The Green Mile, haven't you?
Yes.
I said, let's start putting the executions live on pay-per-view. No. And by the way, if you want to mix it up a little bit, we could have some fan voting. We could have a couple different options. Choose your own adventure. How would you like to see this person meet their untimely demise? Maybe fighting a bear, you know?
What do we learn in one of the True Detective seasons? You get the world you deserve.
The world you deserve.
You get the world you deserve.
It's kind of where we're at right now.
That's a creative idea. Did I hear you tell a story? This would have been years ago. I've heard you say this, but did you say that your brother used to host the bum Olympics and make them compete?
My brother-in-law, yeah, for the cans.
Yeah,
they'd have all their cans.
I've never heard this story.
Oh yeah, they'd have them Saturday morning or Sunday morning, after a big game. Ohio State got all the cans out there, and they'd want them. He's we'd pick them up for him, and then we'd have them do a push-up contest, have them racing down the street, wrestling match, things like that.
Running 40s and stuff.
He was so bad they wanted all the cans. He's we'd pick them up for him. We'd have him go.
That's interesting.
He's like, we give him an extra beer sometimes at the end, give him a couple things to work for. I'm like, that's awesome.
Nothing in this life is free, right?
Nothing's free in this world. I'm a big believer in meritocracy. You know, you get what you deserve. You get the world you deserve. And I mean, I'd like to think that I've trained. I mean, have you ever seen 300?
Yes, it's phenomenal.
All right, so what do they do with the boy? You know why they only have tough dudes? Because when the boys are 11, they give them that spear to go kill the wolf. And either you kill the wolf, or the wolf kill you, ain't coming back.
The Lord of the Flies.
It is. Like, so you basically, it's a natural distillation process. You're getting the triple distilled vodka, 6 times distilled, except for dudes. Like, only you're getting that funnel nice and tight, and only the toughest dudes are coming right out of there.
I don't know if I have a skill set in my bag that could get me through the Hunger
Well, here's the thing.
I don't think I have anything.
Your dad would train you for that if you knew that was what was happening. Okay, so it's all preparation stops when the foot hits the ball. So when you get drafted, you want to make sure that you've got.
That's a good point. It's a good point. Because growing up in that world, you know that this is a possibility.
It's a possibility.
So you better have something that you can go to survive.
Yeah.
Something. Okay, it's a good point.
That's real. My dad, my freshman year, I was playing at Lancaster, and we were terrible, but I was a skinny little turd. And the seniors used to beat the hell out of me. I remember my one coach would just yell at me. He's like, you got to fight back. And I'm like, well, he's 35 pounds more than I do.
What do you want me to do?
15, he's 18.
Right.
And I looked at that, and I look back now, I was like, that was a real, sometimes a good beating promotes personal growth. So that was an introspective look of like, what do I need to do to get better? And then also, it's the old David Goggins principle. Like, you do the hard things in life, you put those, he calls it his cookie jar. So then when you have to go through other hard things, you're like, yeah, you reach back in that cookie jar. Like, I've done things like this before. So you get to Ohio State, and you're like, gosh, these guys are all so big and so fast. They're freaking beating the crap out of me. It stinks. You know, you keep leveling up, and you're like, I want to quit. This is hard. And so you go back and like, I've done hard things like this before, so now I'm prepared to be able to do this into the future.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I'm always fascinated by when that transition happens for athletes like yourself and other guys that go from high school, being the guy, going to a program like Ohio State and feeling a level of resistance you probably haven't felt before.
Oh, yeah.
And so take us inside that window of time for you guys to where it's like, man, I used to just run through this league, put up all these big numbers, make all these tackles, whatever it may be. And then you go over to the Woody for the first couple of weeks, and you're like, oh, what is this? What's that like?
I told my dad after a week ago, I don't think I can play here.
Yeah.
It's like, we're running around, like Maurice Clarett. I'm like, these dudes, he just runs through these guys who are seniors. And he's a freshman. Now, you don't realize it's at time, like, how good he was. And then you start seeing, like, all right, yes, I'm like, there's other guys like this out here. I'm in trouble.
Then 4 sacks against Michigan State later.
No, and that was my senior, but you work through that.
It worked out.
You start to work through it. It's like, I need to get stronger. I need this. I need, like, you work on all the things. As opposed to saying, like, now it's like, well, boom, hit that transfer portal button. Like, the coaches don't like me and I'm not playing enough. Okay, get me out of here. And then you get better as throughout. But there is an adjustment period where you have to come in. And even a guy that's as talented as Chris Henry, the first day in there, you're going in a winner-loser deal again on a fan bike against J.J. Smith, who can produce 1,700 watts on that thing. And you're like,
There's levels to this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, I asked those guys, I go, what's good?
The kids are playing their tail off, and the coaches are screwing it up.
100%. So I go in there, and that's what I try to do. You got to keep your sword sharp, like Mike Leach said. So I hop on there, and I ask the coach, like, what's good in this? Well, what does Sonny do on here? Okay, can I get close to that?
Yeah.
Like, can I get close to these numbers to know that I still got a little bit? You know, so when they hook me up to the 1080, I'm doing runs with some of the drafted guys. Like, can I beat any of them? And when I watch them run, I'm like, I think I can get you. No, let's go. It's like, you got to keep the sword sharp.
Sure.
I mean, I'm going to be 43 years old. If I take a month off, like, I'm decaying.
You're cooked.
Petrified.
You're cooked.
That's 100%, man. You stop moving. When you get older, you seize up and freeze up. And so you've got to continually do that. And I look back now, and I'm like, how was there ever a thought that I wouldn't play there? But in that present time, I mean, you're literally, you feel like you're tied to a post in the water at high tide, and the waves are just smacking you, like just trying to get air, like trying to breathe, just drowning every day. Like, can I just keep my mouth above water enough to get some oxygen?
It's got to be one of the ultimate mental challenge an athlete can go through, whether it's in college or getting to the league, right? Because I'm sure that same thing can happen when you go to the NFL, to where you turned yourself into a dude, you start to become a man, and then you go to the NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball, whatever it is, and you're like, oh, now I'm playing with grown men who have mastered whatever this skill set is that we're trying to do. And so I just find that fascinating, is how you guys have to push through certain things after having so much success. And I don't know if, like, us normal humans, what is like a commonality there? Like, I don't think there is anything in common for us to go through those stages of our lives and deal with it to that degree.
I'm a big believer, like, you adapt to the situation that you're placed in. And so as long as you've been raised, like, to be able to handle that, you can get through just about anything. Mm-hmm. And maybe it's because, like, these guys now, I joke with all the young guys, because they go in and they strap them up to their little 18 modalities that's basically like your Apple Watch and all that stuff. Like, they've got machines that measure your heart rate, your oxygen input, your velocity, force into the ground. You know, when you come in, they hook you up to these machines, tell you how much sleep you got. They're measuring your urine to see if you're hydrated enough. That's all well and good, and that's great. And there's a big part of sports science, but a little bit of what Mickey Marotti does too is like, all right, we're just going to go dude versus dude and compete. I understand that, you know, we can measure everything perfectly, and we don't want to overtrain you, and you know, they're in on a lot of that stuff. But at some point, you just got to get tough and deal with it. And so I joking with Peyton Pierce at Sonny and Lorenzo's graduation party, or their draft party at Parlay on like last Sunday. And you know, I'm having a couple of drinks down there, and they're like, you know, we got training tomorrow. I was like, good, let's have some more. I go, I want you to wake up one day like we used to on after a hard Thursday night. Tastes like someone poured cat litter down your throat because your mouth is so dry. Because, like, the last thing you're thinking about is drinking water. You've got 3 hours of sleep. Yeah. You went to bed at 2:30. You wake up at 5:30. You've got to be at the facility. Morning runs start at 6. And you tell yourself, all right, you're walking over there. Your head feels like someone shot a nail gun through it. You're so dehydrated. I mean, it's probably not even safe. They wouldn't even let you practice now because they'd be afraid you pull a muscle. It's like, let's go get through the next hour and 15 minutes. I can do anything for an hour and a half, hour and 15 minutes. Like, I can find a way to get this done. Yeah. And then I go, you put me in the black well the night before a game with a lot of sleep and some food and hydration. Well, the game's easy then. Mm-hmm. There's a full night of sleep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, I'm actually, my muscles aren't like cramp. I can't feel like wanting to cramp as I'm running. Yeah. I'm like not even sweating because I don't think there's anything to sweat out at that point.
It's phenomenal, man. Like, I don't know how you guys do it. Like, I really don't. Like, I played football in high school, and I was like, this is enough for me. This is enough for me. But I also wasn't a dude either. I was just a Joe Schmo over there at Pick North. That's all I was. I wasn't like you. TLC was a big-time hooper, handing out buckets to everybody. Look, I just wanted to see what reaction I could get out of you coming out of the weekend. He played 3-on-3 this weekend. I don't know if you heard about this.
How was Rhyme Time and his OUL?
Rhyme Time, he made it seem like he was the guy for the team over the weekend. That's what he made it seem like.
I told you guys. I said, the margins between me, Isaiah, and Rhyme Time, I'm not even ranking who's one, who's third. It doesn't even matter. We were all about the same. We didn't have a star. We didn't have an anchor. But if you told somebody who didn't know and said, hey, go check out that 97-1 The Fan team, they have a former college player on their team, you would not have known which one it was.
I mean, it's OUL. That doesn't count.
It doesn't count. Exactly. We agree.
So Jacob Reimer, in your mind, is not a college athlete, is what you're saying.
I played tournament games over at OUL. I mean, that's right. That's 10 minutes from my parents' house.
He's going to be heartbroken, TLC. He's going to be heartbroken. Coming up in Ins and Outs, we'll weigh in on whether or not we're in or out on Pat Mahomes being the comeback player of the year. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
You're supposed to swing your sword like this. You're swinging yours like this.
A lot has changed in 30 years, but we're still that old shoe that feels worn in and well-loved. And, well, we smell a little, but you've accepted that. The Fan.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years.
I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Hey, it's Anthony Rothman. Get up to $750 cash back when you refinance your auto loan with Tel-Ohio Credit Union. Visit telohio.org to learn more.
Offer valid until June 30th, subject to credit approval. Restrictions apply. Tel-Ohio is open to all in central and southwestern Ohio. Federally insured by NCUA.
Newman Roofing, as part of their 2026 Commitment to Community initiative, is proud to partner with 10TV and The Fan to relaunch Raise the Roof, honoring local heroes going above and beyond. We are calling on you to help us recognize the volunteers, educators, first responders, and everyday difference makers who are making a meaningful impact in your community to be recognized on 10TV and The Fan. Send in your nominations and stories to 10tv.com/raise the roof. 10tv.com/raise the roof. Nominate a local hero today and help us raise the roof for those who make a difference.
James Laurinaitis here for my guys at Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. I love my Kubota tractor, RTV, and zero-turn I got from Green & Sons, and you can check them out online at greenandsons.com or visit them in store in Mount Sterling or north of Marysville in Raymond for all your Kubota needs.
Hey everybody, it's Berm here, Jeremy Birmingham from the Austin and Berm Show on 97.1 The Fan. Last year I heard Austin's 40 by the 4th message just like everybody else, and I remember thinking to myself, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And then I did what a lot of people do, nothing. And that's why I like Reclaim by Awaken 180 so much now, because it's really about finally taking the advice of people who've actually done it and gotten real results. This is not people guessing. This is not people talking. People who've been there, who I finally listened to. And I dropped 35 pounds in just 7 weeks with Awaken 180. Then I lost 5 more in free maintenance mode. That's why this hits different for me now. Reclaim by Awaken 180 gives you a clear plan, a defined window, and a real finish line. And if you want a powerful goal inside that window, 40 by the 4th is right there. It's not eventually. It's not one of these days. It's right now. So maybe this year, you do what I should have done last year. Go to awaken180weightloss.com. 844-346-1800. awaken180weightloss.com.
The Reds are on the radio. Swung on, crushed, high, deep, left field. There it goes. A 3-run go-ahead blast for Eugenio Suarez. They're waving around Friedel. Up throwing Anthony. Throw to the plate, not in time. And the Reds walk it off at 11, 6-5.
The quest for October baseball is underway. Hear all the action all season long on your home of the Reds.
Feeling stressed or overwhelmed? Not sure how to get the mental health help you need? We've got your back. Call the Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office at 855-438-6442. We'll help you figure out what mental health benefits may be in your health plan. No more confusion, just the support you deserve. Call the Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office at 855-438-6442.
Planning to buy a home in 2026? Not sure where to start? The Ohio Housing Finance Agency can help. With a step-by-step homebuyer's guide and financial tools, the Ohio Housing Finance Agency can make homeownership part of your future. Eligible homebuyers may qualify for down payment assistance and reduced mortgage interest rates. To see if you qualify and to find a mortgage lender, visit myohiohome.org.
Hi, radio listener. Are you having a stressful day? Do you want to unwind before you go home to your annoying family? Good news. You can spend time with our annoying family, Common Man and Timmy.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
The Fan. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Cloudy skies eventually become mostly sunny throughout the day, with our temperatures getting up into the upper 50s to low 60s, and then for tonight, becoming mostly clear overnight with our lows into the upper 30s to low 40s. For Thursday, we will see clouds increase, but overall a pretty lovely day with temperatures in the upper 50s to low 60s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 weather impact forecast.
T-Bone and Tyvis are everything you want in a delicious breakfast. Lots of empty calories, no nutritional value.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 9.
The Fan. Rothman and Ice present In or Out.
Just a little of the old in and out.
All right, before we get into some ins and outs, I want to let you know, bottom of the hour, Sam Amico, hoopswire.com. He'll join us to talk all things NBA playoffs and the Cavs. TLC, let's hear from Kansas City Chiefs GM Brett Veach on Pat Mahomes coming back from a significant injury. Before we get in to ins and outs on whether we're in or out on him winning Comeback Player of the Year, let's get an update on his health.
It has been just an awesome experience to see exactly how Pat Mahomes has attacked this rehab process. I mean, in my mind, he gets hurt and you kind of figured he would attack this thing, but Pat, he is in this building, 7 to 3 to 4 o'clock every single day. If he goes back to Texas for a few days, he takes one of our assistant trainers with him and flies her to Texas with him. Now obviously, because of that hard work, I think he's pretty far ahead of schedule. And again, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but such a motivating presence and such an example to the building on how to approach every day like a true professional. And, I'm excited for him to get back out there. And I think our biggest challenge is, we have to do a good job of protecting him against himself, because we have 110 rookies out here getting ready to try out this weekend. And, if we told Pat he can go out there and throw to him, he would.
So the odds, Bobby, for Comeback Player of the Year, leader in the clubhouse, is Pat Mahomes at plus 150. Second in line is Kyler Murray, now up there in Minnesota at plus 550. Then you got Micah Parsons and Malik Neighbors at 10-1. And then behind them is Daniel Jones at plus 1,600. I actually like the Kyler value more. I think he's going to win the job in Minnesota.
But do you think he's going to win Comeback Player of the Year?
I think he's got a real chance to do that.
Is there a world where anybody outplays Pat Mahomes enough where he doesn't win it, unless he gets hurt again?
The only reason why I'm not rolling with Pat right now is because I don't know, are we getting all the games? Does he need all the games to win this award? I think Kyler is going to be the guy right out of camp, and I actually think he's going to put together some pretty good numbers within that offense. So just based off of value alone right now and the uncertainty with how many games we're getting from Pat, I do a little sprinkle on Kyler Murray's value at plus 550. Because to your point, Pat's going to have a solid year. And if he's out there for the majority of the season, I think we know what it's going to look like. But I like Kyler's upside this year.
I think Kyler's got some upside, but that also means that he's going to win the job.
You don't think he's going to win the job out of camp?
I think he is.
I think it's his job to lose right now.
I think it is his job to lose. He hasn't shown me anything that has led me to believe that he's going to go out there and spire some dudes. Justin Jefferson might eat him for lunch.
I actually think Justin Jefferson is rejoicing right now, at least that Kyler is there.
Kyler throws some bad passes and is playing video games on the sideline or whatever he does, Justin Jefferson might go over and just 5 fingers say to the face Charlie Murphy and just smack him.
I will say this. I thought he handled himself well last year, that being Jefferson, because he could have popped off and really made that a toxic situation.
He just waited until the end of the season and be like, who are we playing out here? We let go of Sam for this guy?
Yeah, because he said it a few times.
Yes.
This all season.
He said it very loudly.
Where you can read between the lines how he feels, one, about J.J. McCarthy and what he had to go through last year.
And so. There's a newness with Kyler, but unless Kyler has changed his ways, it might be a little bit of Arizona 2.0. You think Marvin was super happy that
No, because it was all Trey McBride over there too. I've got trust too in Kevin O'Connell. I like him as a head coach.
I like him a lot,
and what he can do. To your point though, Kyler Murray is no slam dunk as far as what you'll see from him. But I just think with what they have around him, it's going to be tough to really screw that up.
If Mahomes plays 14 games, I think he wins.
That'll be enough. Yeah. That'll be enough.
They've retooled this thing enough that they're going to be a team that ultimately is near the top of the AFC West, near the top of the AFC, and I'm guessing his numbers will be the numbers that they've been for a while now that he's got some better weapons around him. They've helped the offensive line. They had a pretty good draft, I thought.
They just need to, I think, Bobby, take some off his plate when it comes to the rushing output, because last year I just thought it was too much. Like, they needed him to do it, so he answered the call.
They brought in Kenneth Walker.
They brought in Kenneth Walker, so that'll help him out for sure, and I think they'll get more productivity from their running backs this year because they were 25th in the league last year in rushing yards per game. TLC, what else you got in ins and outs, my man?
Well, let's start here. Are you in or out on Patrick Mahomes? Should he even be qualified for the comeback player of the year?
Why not?
He missed 3 games, and they were already eliminated from the playoffs at that point.
Yeah, I guess that is true. But he did suffer a big-time injury.
And that's by rule, it is that, right? Yeah. A guy coming back from injury is obviously up for
I wouldn't label last season as like an injury-riddled season, though. That's like an injured off season.
Yeah. I mean, you bring up a good point. To me, technically, he qualifies.
It's in my nature.
He qualifies for me. I think he does. But I think TLC brings up a fair point.
They're already 6-8
in this one. No, I you bring up an interesting point there. It's bringing me some pause as far as how locked in I thought he should be when it comes to his consideration for the award. But I don't have a real problem with it. I really don't.
All right. Are you in or out on Little League coaches should have to pitch from a knee in coach pitch?
Why do you think that is?
So that way the angle more reflects the height of the batter.
Okay, so...
However, if a kid hits one on the screws, you're not exactly in a position to jump out of the way.
Well, and you got to eat it sometimes. Put that catcher's mask on when you're pitching. You know, if you take one to the chest, well, then good for you. Better get that kid, get him off the sauce. When I was throwing to my kids, I would always throw from a knee, whether it was football, baseball, whatever, because it was an easier angle. If not, I'm just like throwing down at them. Yeah. And so it helped me. I felt like it made it more realistic. I'm in on that. Put them on a knee. That makes it a little more realistic. It's an easier throw, especially if you're not as gifted a thrower like I am. Mm-hmm. And so that's how I did it. I like it.
I don't have a problem with this at all. I think it's as realistic as it can get for a young hitter when it comes to the looks that they're going to get. I'm trying to remember when I was playing. I don't think the dads were on a knee throwing to us in coach pitch. So we had that horrible angle. Like, why weren't we having parents on a knee back then? But it makes a ton of sense. It makes a ton of sense, and I think it can definitely help out kids and maybe advance where they are as a young hitter. So I'm in.
All right, so a Boise State fan made quite the purchase. He spent $25,000 for a 400-square-foot portion of the blue turf that is being replaced. Wow. So Boise State's getting some new turf, and the turf that they had, that Ashton Genty finished second in the Heisman on, a 400-square-foot portion of that is going to a Boise State fan who spent $25,000 of it for it to be installed in his home. Are you in and out on this?
His home or backyard?
It says installed in their home, according to Chris Vanini of...
I like that.
Probably The Athletic. I don't know.
I'm not the biggest memorabilia guy. I'm really not. But this, I am in on. Let me ask you this, though, fellas. What are they going to out there? Are we not doing the blue turf anymore?
I think they're just replacing it.
They're just replacing it with a newer version of the black turf. Okay, so you're getting... That kind of takes away, I think, a little bit of the value, right?
That turf is what... what's his name from Vegas ran on?
Ashton Genty. Kellen Moore, those guys?
Whoever was played on that. This was the turf that they played on.
Yeah.
You know, so I guess there is some nostalgia with that. It's a boss move if this dude's just rolling it up and putting it in his basement because he's got a huge house then. So that's big time. But they've done that for Ohio State. Like, they've sold portions of the old turf, portions of the old end zone. You know, when that stuff's come up and they've replaced it.
If they were going to just normal turf that was green, then I'd be more in on this because it'd be something obviously you would never be able to get.
Yeah.
But since they're going back to blue turf, that kind of loses a little bit of its
but Ashton Genty didn't run on this turf. You know, Kellen Moore.
We got a squad out there somewhere with red turf. Western Kentucky? Who is that?
Eastern Washington.
Eastern Washington.
We got Eastern Michigan with the gray turf.
Yeah, they have the factory.
Okay. Coastal Carolina with the teal.
The all-red turf is horrendous.
It is.
I'm sorry. Of all the ones you mentioned, I think to my eye, that's by far the worst. I like Coastal's teal. I'm not mad at that, but just all red, Bobby. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Not a win. A guy that's a winner, Sam Amico. Cavs down 0-1. How can they crawl out of this quote hole, or does Sam think that they are absolutely cooked. We'll talk about the Cavs and everything else NBA playoffs next in 2 minutes. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
Working your way through that home projects list, that means more flushes, more showers, more fiddling with the thermostat. Trust the pros at the Waterworks with your plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling needs. Our certified pros can repair or replace your air conditioner or furnace. Clogs? Call the Waterworks. Drain issues? Call the Waterworks. Plumbing problems? Call the Waterworks. HVAC breakdowns? Call the Waterworks. The Waterworks. Trusted and certified plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling experts.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Why should you hire America's largest injury law firm for your case? There's lots of reasons. Just like there's a reason millions of people called us last year in their time of need. When it comes to fighting for justice and compensation, millions of people across the country trust us to go to battle for them. We became the largest injury law firm in the world for a reason. There's only one Morgan & Morgan. For the people.com. Injured? Dial pound law.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
I have a buddy who's going to be popping the question soon. He's planning everything out. He asked me, can you help me out with the ring? I said, of course I can. I've got a guy, Bob Capace from Worthington Jewelers. Now you talk, Bob.
Hi, I'm Bob Capace. I'm your guy.
Go in, see my friends at Worthington Jewelers, tell them I sent you, and you'll get the true VIP experience.
I'll treat them better than I treat you.
That's not hard. Worthington Jewelers on High Street in Worthington, worthingtonjewelers.com, where Columbus gets engaged. And tell them Common Man sent you.
A noisy garage door is a cry for help. Hi, I'm Tommy Mello, owner of Don's Garage Door Service. Most repairs are simple, but if left untreated, they can turn into costly repairs. Your garage door works hard every day, and a little maintenance goes a long way. We fix garage doors fast with quality parts designed to last a lifetime. Over 90,000 five-star reviews don't happen by accident. They happen by putting people first. Fixing your garage doors is what we do. From repairs to upgrades, call Don's Garage Door Service today.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Fascinating, informative, covered in dog slobber. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
Welcome back. Bobby Carpenter filling in for AR today. Happy hump day to all of you. Last night, Bobby, Cavs go down 0-1. You brought it up earlier. The turnovers right now, what are we doing? Like, this has got to stop. You look at the Raptors series, they allowed the Raptors to hang around, and that was a massive issue. And then you look at last night as well, and it's like, my goodness, they can just not stop handing the opposing team goodie bags. 20 total turnovers in the game yesterday for the Cavs, man. Awful. And the game was close late, and that makes it even more frustrating.
I was watching,
down to 5.
Was it down to 5?
I believe at one point,
Ended up losing by about 10. I knew they were cutting it tighter. I was watching it at Carsoni's last night, and I had like one eye on it, and I just watching James Harden turn the ball over and just watching. Then they're throwing up all the turnover numbers. I'm like, this is bad. I mean, you can't be, Mike Singletary said, you can't be a charity. You can't give the games away.
That's real. And then what can't happen is Jared Allen have an amazing Game 7 performance against Toronto and then come back out and only have 2 points and 3 rebounds in 18 minutes. Because to me, he's always been kind of the X factor for this team. Because we've known for the most part what you're getting from Mitchell when Garland was a part of this, what he was getting if he were healthy. And then Evan Mobley has been emerging as one of the young and up-and-coming guys for the last few years. But when Allen plays well, it's just that guy that just puts them over the top, that raises the ceiling for this squad. And, man, it's just got to be frustrating for Cleveland fans to be watching this guy be so inconsistent just because you know his peaks are really, really good, and it really just changes the dynamic of the team.
Well, it's tough because you're in a dogfight now and you go down 0-1. Now, not the end of the world. It's not like you lost at home, but you've got to find a way because that was on the road that was up in Toronto. Yeah. So they've got to find a way.
Yeah, to steal one on the road for game 2. Yeah.
You got close, and you look at it and you're like, if we could just get back a third of those turnovers, like, what are we doing at this point?
Right. And so Detroit's a team that is going to drag you into the deep end. They're going to make it grimy. You saw it yesterday. Look, Cavs only get to 101. Detroit, nothing crazy. They score $111 in the game. That's not out of bounds in the NBA that we're living in. But this is a team that's just going to have to find a way to clean up the boards better and get timely stops. If they don't do that, then this series could be a quick one. TLC, you still efforting Sam?
Yeah.
Okay, so Sam, we're still working on him. He did text me and say he's ready to go, TLC, so you can hit him up there. But the experiment moving forward, too, Bobby, with James Harden and Donovan Mitchell. If this goes badly in this series, and let's say they lose in 5 or something like that.
Gentleman's sweep.
Is that something that they feel like they're going to want to run it back?
James Harden's 100 years old.
Correct. And he has his playoff woes as well. He's got his situations to where he doesn't really show up all the time. That's his history. But they've got some critical decisions to make this offseason, right? Because going back 2-3 years ago, they felt like they built a championship contender. Who knows when you get to the finals, especially when you've been dealing with teams like Denver and OKC and some of these other teams that are really good over there. But I've been saying anything short of an Eastern Conference Finals appearance, I think, would be a pretty big disappointment.
I agree with that. And it's tough because Detroit's emerged. Heck, they had their own battle though last round, and that's the thing. Nobody looks invincible in the East.
No,
and so you should be able to stretch this thing to 6 or 7 games. You should have a viable shot at winning it. It wasn't like Detroit just steamrolled the Magic.
No doubt.
There's opportunities here. You've built this team, like you said, to be an NBA championship contender. You've got pretty good depth. You've got pretty good length. You should be checking all the boxes. Yeah, you've had some injuries and things, and so that has derailed some stuff throughout the year.
They just got to clean it up. They just got to clean it up.
You can't turn the ball over.
That's a horrible thing.
Of everything that happened, you cannot turn it over.
No question. We're going to bring on Sam Amico right now, senior NBA writer for HoopsWire.com. Sam, welcome in. How are you?
I'm doing well, gentlemen. How you doing?
We are doing well. We're doing well. Appreciate your time. We were talking about some of the takeaways from Game 1, and the thing that's just been sticking out, Sam, is the Cavs not taking care of the basketball. And as you know, this time of year, that's one of the worst things you can do.
Yeah, that was the game. I mean, you look at that first quarter, they kept turning the ball over, and you think about Detroit getting, 32 points off of their turnovers, and all of a sudden the Cavs are down 16 in the first quarter. You're handing them the game because you're not giving yourself a chance. The Cavs half-court defense has actually been pretty decent in the playoffs, better than decent. But you turn the ball over, you're not playing half-court defense. You're getting beat down the court on the fast break. So the 3 keys to this series, and the Cavs knew this going in, is take care of the basketball is number 1, and they didn't do that. Number 2 is win the scrums and the loose ball and tangible department, and number 3, of course, is you got to not allow the opponent to get offensive rebounds, and the Cavs lost in every one of those areas in Game 1.
Way to paint a rosy picture there for us, Sam. That feels really good. So I guess looking forward to Game 2, I mean, are those 3 metrics, are those things that can be flipped or at least tightened up? I mean, you start looking at the turnovers as 19-11. If it's, 15-12, it might be a different game given the score. If you're able to tighten up the offensive boards and not lose that by 5, there's a number of elements to that. Are those things that this team, just given how they're constructed, and that James Harden can get a little loose with the ball at times, is that something that they can overcome and change?
I think it is. Listen, they did it when they needed to against Toronto. They haven't done it. They have not done it so far on the road for long stretches. But all those things, like I said, they lost all those areas. But guess what? They came back, tied the game up, and gave themselves a shot to win. But again, gave up offensive rebounds at the key time, and not just one a possession. It was, sometimes 2 a possession, and you're going to get burned in the NBA that way. The offensive players are too talented. If you give them 3 shots on the same possession, they're going to score. So can they clean that up? Yeah. I mean, they've done it before. The thing is, you've got to – I'm sure Kenny Atkinson has made this the point of emphasis, but you can win games without making shots and shooting, 35% if you do those other things. And, I'm sure after the Toronto series, I would hope that Kenny Atkinson said these are the things that we need to do. He sure has said it to the media. and they're capable. That's the thing. They're capable of doing that. Like you just said, you don't need 0 turnovers or 10 turnovers. Just keep it in the 10 to 15 range, and you've got a great shot, because on paper, you look at these teams, yeah, the Cavs have the edge, but not if they're not doing the things you need to do to win.
Well, and you mentioned, especially on the boards, it's not like this Cavs team is, athletically or vertically deficient. Like, they've got size on the front line. They should be able to board a little bit more. It seems like it's almost just a point of emphasis rather than anything that's structurally wrong with them.
Right. No, there's no excuse for it, is basically what you're saying. You're absolutely right. There were a few times last night the announcers called out Evan Mobley and said, well, Jalen Duren had 3 dunks there right in a row, and that pretty much took the wind out of the sails for the Cavs. And that was, one of the announcers said, that one's right there's on Evan Mobley. You watch, he did not even block out. And I think that they are guilty of that a lot. These are fundamental things that it's a lack of focus, maybe a little bit of a lack of determination. And I think more than anything, if you're Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, you're thinking, I can just go up there and grab that, no problem. Evan Mobley, I'm 7 foot. I'll just go up and get it, because that's what he's done his whole career. But, I mean, you hate to get angry about it, guys, but I'm like, you'd think Kenny Atkinson, one of his 17 assistant coaches, would, just take Mobley aside and say, every single time you need to box out, because these Detroit guys, Isaiah Stewart and Jalen Duren, these guys are going to go after it every time. That's their strength, is the intangibles, whereas the Cavs, that's kind of their Achilles heel.
Sam, I'm hoping, me personally, that we'll get to see the Knicks and the Cavs square off in the Eastern Conference Finals. That series a few years ago, as you know, did not go well for the Cavs. The comments from Jared Allen coming out of that series had some people really scratching their head. But let's advance just a little bit here. Cavs, Knicks, if we do get that in the next round, what do you think about that matchup for Cleveland?
Same thing. If they get there, it's because they cleaned up what we just talked about, and they're going to have to do it again. The Knicks, Mitchell Robinson, Bridges, those guys, Anunoby, those guys crash the glass. They create turnovers. And it's the same sort of deal. The Knicks they've been on fire. They look like last year's Oklahoma City Thunder. Now, I think it helps, that they had the Hawks in the first round. They've got a Sixers team that kind of overachieved in the first round. But, listen, the Cavs, if they get out of this series, it will prepare them and give them a whole new boost of confidence. And I think the Cavs match up with anybody. It's, are they playing their game? Are they playing at the top of their game? Or are they just kind of spending a quarter here and there, kind of going through the motions, which they've been guilty of doing? Mm-hmm. But if you play your game and you get 90%, I said this last night, if Jared Allen had even had a C- game, they win that game. Yeah. So you got to get a B game from your key players and an A game from some of your role players.
It's real. He's Sam Amico, senior NBA writer for hoopswire.com. Sam, appreciate you joining us during a busy time. We'll catch up with you down the road. Appreciate it.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for having me, and we'll talk to you soon.
Appreciate it. Sam joined us via the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Coming up next, we're going to hit you with a Buckeye Bulletin. You'll hear from Ryan Day on maybe fixing the college football calendar and how he thinks that should look. We'll do it next in the Buckeye Bulletin. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
Wake up with The Fan. Eat lunch with The Fan. Go to bed with The Fan. Dream about The Fan. Then change your sheets. Gross.
Ew, you guys are gross, but stick around in case I don't find anyone else.
The Fan.
This spring, celebrate the sparkle that she brings to your life with something that sparkles right back. Whether it's for Mother's Day, an anniversary, or just because, Diamond Cellar has the perfect gift for the women who mean the world to you. Visit Diamond Cellar today on Selma Road and at Easton Town Center.
Spring is here. Now's the time to get your air conditioner ready with a $49 AC tune-up from Columbus Worthington Air. An AC tune-up can help save money on your energy bill and prevent expensive breakdowns. As your local home service experts, everything we do is backed by our exceptional service guarantee. Proudly serving Columbus homeowners for 90 years and counting. Columbus Worthington Air and Bryant Heating and Cooling. Whatever it takes. Visit cwaohio.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions. License number 47543.
Planning to buy a home in 2026? Not sure where to start? The Ohio Housing Finance Agency can help. With a step-by-step homebuyer's guide and financial tools, the Ohio Housing Finance Agency can make homeownership part of your future. Eligible homebuyers may qualify for down payment assistance and reduced mortgage interest rates. To see if you qualify and to find a mortgage lender, visit myohiohome.org.
From military life to a rewarding career in IT, kickstart your new journey in a matter of months in the fields of IT and cybersecurity, including AI. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including VA benefits.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Welcome to Markdowns for Miles at AutoZone.
Thanks. Is oil marked down?
Save up to $15 when you buy 5 quarts and a filter.
And fuel treatment?
2 for $9 on Lucas.
Brake pads?
Marked down to free.
Free?
Get free Duralast brake pads when you buy 2 Duralast rotors.
That's several markdowns.
For many more miles. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
Jake from State Farm. I just beat my running PR, so I'm celebrating with the Banana Bonanza smoothie.
Hey, and you can keep celebrating when you create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. Go bananas.
I will. Hey, make it a large.
Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
No way. Gas prices shot up again.
I know, but I got us covered.
So generous. What's your deal?
What's my deal? I went to Metro and saved. Got 4 lines for just $25 each and 4 free new Samsung Galaxy A17 5G phones, and all on the T-Mobile network.
Ah, how about we go to Metro today? Get that more for your money feeling. Visit your Metro by T-Mobile store. Just bring your numbers. Not available if you've been with Metro or T-Mobile in the past 180 days.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. This is the time of year to enjoy some nice weather. Usually the temperature's pretty good. Those nice spring days where you get outside, you just feel that breeze. It's awesome. But coming soon, it's the hot, hot months of summer, and we know in those months, you're going to want your air conditioning running. You're going to want your windows to keep that cold air inside your house. You don't want to lose money running your air conditioner constantly, all because your builder grade or old windows are just not getting the job done. That's where Window Nation comes in. Window Nation's got their buy 4 windows, get 4 free sale going on now. You can replace all the windows in your home for summer and get half of them for free. Plus, you can get 0 down payment and no payments or interest for 2 years. And of course, all Window Nation windows come with a lifetime warranty, so you can relax knowing your home is protected far into the future. Don't wait to put an end to your window problems. Schedule your fast free consultation now. WindowNation.com. Buy 4 windows, get 4 free sale going on now. WindowNation.com.
If only there was a radio show that constantly talked about Ohio State athletics. Well, good news. It's real, baby. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
Proud to be your flagship home of the Buckeyes. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Right Way Heating and Cooling and Bryant. Doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Rothman Ice present Buckeye Bulletin.
Sponsored by Window Nation. Save up to 50% on new windows from windownation.com.
So the gang on Bishop and Friends had Ryan Day on the program yesterday. Our guy Bo Bishop knocked out that interview with him. Got some insightful stuff from Coach Day coming out of that interview. One thing that he touched on with Bo was his perspective on the landscape of college football, the calendar right now, and maybe how we can go about cleaning up some of the issues that are out here.
What we're doing is we're having a hard time putting all of these issues
and look at them through one lens. I think they're all happening in sort of like silos is the best way to put it. You know, whether you have the portal when that opens, you have the amount of teams that are in the playoffs, you have the calendar itself. So you add all those things together, boy, it makes for kind of a crazy December and January. So I think one of the things that, you know, I'm going to keep trying to challenge everybody, and we go to our Big Ten meetings here in a couple of weeks, is that we need to make these decisions with all of those things in mind, not just individual decision. I think there's a lot of thoughts out there about all of these issues, but to me, like we need the season to be over before we start going down the portal of figuring out who our next team is going to be and our next roster is going to look like. But it is what it is right now. And so, yeah, during that time period, we are looking for those connections and making sure these guys understand what it means to be at Ohio State.
That makes a lot of sense to me, Bobby. Like, I've always thought it was, a little strange with the portal stuff that he was alluding to, something that happened right here in our backyard last year where you had Hartline take the job and you're going into the Big Ten Championship, you're going to the playoff, and all that stuff kind of hovering. It does feel clunky from the outside looking in, so I can't imagine for Coach Day, his players, his staff, what that feels like, and I think it obviously is on the NCAA to clean this up. I don't know exactly how you do it, but I do think what he's talking about, that window of time, we got to do something.
He talked about moving the calendar. You start some things earlier. You cut your conference championship games. I mean, there's a method to be able to do it. But the fact that all these teams aren't necessarily aligned, they don't care that the portal opens during the semifinal and final because they're not playing in it.
Right.
So it's like, well, we want to get our team here together. We're like, why don't you start thinking about big picture stuff? Is this good for the sport?
Yeah.
Why don't we move everything forward? Or we can make the portal in May. If you want guys here earlier, let's get it done quicker. And do we need 10 days? By the way, there's still like 6,000 guys in the portal who got in there, and like there were 10,000 that got in, and maybe some guys get pulled out. But it's not a good situation. And it's really, I'm a big believer in personal choice. Like, I'm not going to just abdicate all responsibility for people, but some of these guys are young. Like, when you give someone options, sometimes giving them options isn't a good thing. Too many options isn't great for them. And so I think Ryan acknowledges that too. Like, some of these guys leave, and probably not better for them to leave, but you know what? You're going to maybe make a little more money this year. It's better for you over the totality of your career, over the totality of your life when you go somewhere else. So he was saying, like, we need to make these decisions. What do we want college football to look like in 10 years? Now, the problem is some of these coaches are worried about, are they going to have a job next year? Right. But the people involved have to be like, what do we want our sport to look like? And there's going to have to be some sacrifices among people, maybe in the present, for what's more convenient and easier for them to be able to have the game that we love and resemble something that it has been forever.
Yeah. Let me hit you with this. You can only pick one of these right now. You're Commissioner Carpenter of the NCAA.
Mary Bleep Kill.
We can play that game too if you want. You get an ironclad contract for NIL that you have to honor. That says you have to be somewhere for 2 years to get this amount of money, or
you can enter the Hunger Games to earn your freedom. How about that? We can have a little mid-season tournament right there. You know, hey, we have a couple guys that had really great years. They signed a 2-year deal. They'd like to get out.
Yeah. You know what's sad?
Here's our 10 contestants for the Hunger Games this year. One of them will be able to get.
May the odds be ever in your favor.
Exactly. And you know what's sad? This is sad to say. That would pop a huge number.
Oh, it'd be so great.
A huge number on TV. That's honestly the sad part about.
Might boost some of that value, too, whoever comes out of the backside.
Got that dog in him.
This guy's got that dog in him.
That dog
Pure grinder.
All right, would you rather have that, just contracts that you have to honor to get your money, or would you want to clean up the transfer portal and you get, let's say, one transfer?
Ooh, I'd get one transfer.
So that's
because I think that solves the other thing inherently a little bit.
Okay.
Because if you only get one, you got to be careful where you spend it. Because then if you got to sit out, number one, no one's going to pay you unless you're great. Right. And they're not going to pay you as much as they could to sit out for a year while you're doing it. And so I said, hey, you get one free transfer after your second year. Got to stay there for 2. Figure it out. You're great. You want to jump and go do something else. Great. You got great film. That's fine. If you're not really playing, it's not working out, go somewhere else. That's okay. And you know what? Then after that, you got to be careful. You leave, like I said, if I say after 2, but if you want to leave after your freshman year, just because you were unhappy, you didn't like it. Well, then you got to be careful because that was it. You just spent your one free token there.
Tell you this, it's alarming the amount of people that you mentioned that are still in the portal. It's alarming, and that's also humbling too, right? Because you have a lot of these guys that are looking around their locker room that they used to be in and say, man, like, this guy's getting that, this guy's getting this car, or whatever it may be. I want some of that. And then you go into the portal thinking that that's automatically going to happen, and now you're a player without a home, and it's May 6th.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy out there, but some of these guys, I think, I can't, and it's hard for me, right? Because I can't blame guys for chasing an opportunity and what can be generational money in some cases. But I do think that there's something to staying 10 toes down and figuring it out wherever you are.
I mean, this said there were 10,576 players entered the portal. There are 6,848 still active in there. So that's about 4,000 that got out.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
10,000 what? 576?
Yes. And that 6,840, 10
are still in?
Yes.
All right, so that's 65% remain.
Yes. And that's bad. That's 2/3.
Man.
That's 2/3.
I have to imagine some of those guys are like, I probably should have stayed where I was.
100%. They thought, like, oh, I'm going to get out of here and, like, everybody's going to want me.
Yeah.
Back then, they didn't want me. Now I'm hot. They all on me.
Mike Jones.
By the way, I was talking that off. I had no reference.
He didn't get that one?
Well, no, because I brought up, he said something about John Wall. I said, how about Paul Wall?
He didn't know
they're
who Paul
related?
Wall
No
was.
idea.
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't know anything about the grills?
No.
How much would I have to pay you to rock a grill for a week?
Oh, that's not really my speed.
I know it's not. That's why I'm asking you this. I'm talking top and bottom
Gotti,
row.
I mean, we're talking like Justin Jefferson style.
Diamonds dancing.
I don't even know how that would feel on my teeth.
7 days straight. What's the dollar figure on that?
I'd do it for $1,000 a day.
Okay.
Do I get to keep the grill after it's done? Of
course. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
TLC, you get to wear a grill. You have to wear a grill for 7 days straight, and I got an unlimited bag. Name your price.
Do guys like eat with those in?
Well, that's what I was saying. It would be a great appetite suppressant because that's why I chew so much gum so I don't eat cough drops because then food tastes like trash afterwards. The grill you're pretty lean though. I don't.
Yeah. I bet. Hey man, I'd like to be a little bit leaner.
No, you don't need to be leaner.
Why not?
You trying to be McConaughey and Byers Club?
I guess. I don't know, put on more muscle, I guess, but then I need to eat to do that.
Oh, we just give you the creatine to coach. A little powder and some water.
There we go. Sure. Well, I need 7 days. No, I need to save the tape when I get busted for cultural appropriation to see who put me up to this. But sure, I'll do it for 7 days.
Just tell them you're from Houston. Yeah. What's the price?
From H-Town. Yeah, what's your price?
Oh, I don't know, 1,000
a day, or just for 7 days?
For 7 days.
Okay. That'd be more than that. Thought it'd be a lot more.
I don't know. Is it going to hurt my teeth after a while?
That's why I asked. Like,
I'm not familiar with it.
We'd get it fitted to your mouth to where I think it would be fairly comfortable. I don't know.
It's not like a plastic mouth guard. Those things are like gold. This would be metal sitting on there. That's my thing. Like, unless there's some sort of like plastic lining inside. I don't know how they do that.
Coming up top of the hour after a Tyler Danberg update, we'll hit you with a deep dive that's going to include Dabo Sweeney. And is he alluding to Clemson being a, quote, little guy? That's interesting. We'll find out next. It's Rothman Ice right here on The Fan.
Catch the latest from the world of Ohio State athletics. Weeknights at 6 on The Buckeye Show. News, special guests, and everything scarlet and gray. The Fan.
I have a buddy who's going to be popping the question soon. He's planning everything out. He asked me, can you help me out with the ring? I said, of course I can. I've got a guy, Bob Capace from Worthington Jewelers. Now you talk, Bob.
Hi, I'm Bob Capace. I'm your guy.
Go in, see my friends at Worthington Jewelers, tell them I sent you, and you'll get the true VIP experience.
I'll treat them better than I treat you.
That's not hard. Worthington Jewelers on High Street in Worthington, worthingtonjewelers.com, where Columbus gets engaged. And tell them Common Man sent you.
This is Corey Sickles with Safe Harbor Wealth Advisors. Loads and fees erode your retirement savings. Let us show you how to protect your nest egg. Visit safeharboroh.com to schedule a complimentary meeting. safeharboroh.com.
Hey, it's Anthony here for the Good Feet store. This is the time. You want to be outside. You need to be outside.
but do you really want to be on your feet if they're killing you? That's why I went to the Good Feet store. I stressed about knowing I would be standing at a multiple-hour event or even playing in a golf tourney where I knew I would be walking. But when I got fitted for my personal arch supports, it changed the game for me in a great way. I honestly feel much better supported and aligned, and it's taken the pressure off my lower back. I could feel the difference instantly in my test walk at the store. Just a solid foundation right from the get-go. And now, every day, everything feels a little better. Their experts will personally fit you like they did me. And do what I did. Take the test walk around the store, and you'll feel the difference. I've learned it all starts with the feet, and when you get the proper support, everything feels better. You can make an appointment online or just stop in the Good Feet store. They're in Grove City or on Polaris Parkway in Westerville, or get started right now at goodfeet.com.
Newman Roofing, as part of their 2026 Commitment to Community initiative, is proud to partner with 10TV and The Fan to relaunch Raise the Roof, honoring local heroes going above and beyond. We are calling on you to help us recognize the volunteers, educators, first responders, and everyday difference makers who are making a meaningful impact in your community to be recognized on 10TV and The Fan. Send in your nominations and stories to 10tv.com/raise the roof. 10tv.com/raise the roof. Nominate a local hero today and help us raise the roof for those who make a difference.
Always still look at myself as a high-performing athlete, even at 40 years old. And so I want to go able to run and run fast and do things that I could 15 and 20 years ago. And it was getting to the point where the pain was starting to limit that.
Pain attacks people from all walks of life, not just former professional athletes like Bobby Carpenter. That's where QC Kinetics non-surgical treatment steps in.
And now that the pain is gone, I've been able to go and do the stuff that I love and run fast and run sprints and try to get back to where I was.
QC Kinetics regenerative treatments use your body's own healing properties to deliver long-term relief without surgery.
Now, being able to go and work out and do the stuff that I want to do and challenge my body, it's made me a better person, a more pleasant person to be around.
Don't wait. Call QC Kinetics for your free consultation today. QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
Working your way through that home projects list, that means more flushes, more showers, more fiddling with the thermostat. Trust the pros at the Waterworks with your plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling needs. Our certified pros can repair or replace your air conditioner or furnace. Clogs? Call the Waterworks. Drain issues? Call the Waterworks. Plumbing problems? Call the Waterworks. HVAC breakdowns? Call the Waterworks. The Waterworks. Trusted and certified plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling experts.
Give me a mountain, give me a dew. All I need is sunshine and a cool, refreshing mountain dew. My good friends, give me a dew.
Grab some ice-cold Mountain Dew today.
Grilling season is here, and nobody does it better than Billiards Plus. Fire up your backyard with top-of-the-line grills from the biggest names in outdoor cooking. Perfect for game day or any day. And when the party heads inside, Billiards Plus has you covered with pool tables, shuffleboard, game tables, and more. Everything you need to build the ultimate hangout. From backyard cookouts to game room showdowns. Make your home the MVP. Billiards Plus. Grills, games, and good times. Family owned and operated. Check them out online or on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Hey, it's Anthony Rothman. Get up to $750 cash back when you refinance your auto loan with Tel-Ohio Credit Union. Visit telohio.org to learn more.
Offer valid until June 30th, subject to credit approval. Restrictions apply. Tel-Ohio is open to all in central and southwestern Ohio. Federally insured by NCUA.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios. Driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good afternoon, I'm Tyler Danberg. After being walked off the last two nights, the Reds visit the Cubs at 7:40. On top of last night's 3-2 loss to the Cubbies, Reds closer Emilio Pagan was carted off after a hamstring injury. Manager Terry Francona on Pagan's status.
He's certainly going to be an IL. We just need to see the extent of how bad he did it, because you could see, by his reaction that he was struggling.
Tonight, Brady Singer goes for the Reds against Colin Ray for the Cubs. Catch it on the Fan after the Buckeye Show. Also at 7:40, Guardians are at the Royals. NBA Sixers star Joel Embiid will miss tonight's Game 2 against the Knicks with hip and ankle injuries. This update sponsored by Ramos Roofing. Request your free roof or exterior assessment today at RamosRoofingOhio.com. Ramos Roofing, reliable, local, built right. Breaking sports news when it happens on the Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
shows just skim the surface, but Rothman and Ice feel like the biggest story of the day deserves a closer look. It's time for a deeper dive.
Sponsored by Orthopedic One, Central Ohio's most trusted orthopedic practice. Find a physician or location near you at orthopedic1.com.
Hour number 3 of Rothman and Ice. Welcome in. Bobby Carpenter in the building for AR today. Bottom of the hour. Brad Crawford covers college football for CBS 24/7 Sports. He'll tap in with us. We'll get his thoughts on spring ball and a lot of the things that he's seen around the country, Bobby, because it's great. Go ahead, man.
How about Miss Sunday? I mean, you said this was a deeper dive, right?
That is a win. The reason why Bobby said that is because we were talking about some of our favorite characters from Game of Thrones.
All-time Thrones girls.
Yes, some of our favorite characters from Game of Thrones, and she would be high up there. Good for Grey.
Do some power rankings.
That was a big win for Grey Worm. That was a big win.
It's true
for him.
There's a lot of options out there, though. A lot of options. I mean, I gotta say, all my stuff because Bodie's rewatching it, so half of my social media feed now is Game of Thrones stuff. It just gets incepted in there.
It never gets old.
Which, by the way, the one lady who is part of the little religious cult, the dudes with the stars on their head.
Oh, the Light of the Seven people, whatever that is. Yeah.
When they take over, she's the one boss in Ted Lasso. She owns the team.
Is she?
Yes, the head lady that does a lot of the torturing.
Okay.
She's the head boss in Ted Lasso. She owns the team in Ted Lasso. There's a lot of people in there that when they're all dressed up, you have a hard time associating with someone else. Then you dive into that and you're like, oh, okay, now I see it. Now I can't unsee it, but before I couldn't pick it up.
I was watching Kit Harington, and there was a show on HBO, and I'm not remembering the name of it. It was out recently. Had something to do, I think, maybe the stock market or something like that. I can't. What is the name of that daggone show? It's pretty good. But every time I see him, he can't shake the Jon Snow thing for me. And he did a good job in this role as well. That's the give and take, right, of being a part of elite programs like that is maybe you get typecasted. And I don't know if Kit Harington is there.
Listen.
Sansa, her character, her real life character.
She played like Jean Grey.
She was an X-Men. She's crawling out of that just a little bit. But I mean, look, you'll take it all day and tomorrow. If you're Kit Harington, you're one of the most popular characters in TV history.
He got to live your dream where he gets to marry his one co-star.
He did marry the wildling character.
Yes.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
Personal life. Where is it? Married Rain Parrish. There you go,
That's her
Scotland.
name.
Yeah.
Okay. And they met on the set, I believe. That was the first time.
Of course, yes. So that gets to that, and that's your dream of getting to go on there.
There's another benefit.
All these beautiful people you've been working with for 7 years. So yeah, that's all good. Well, before we get going any further, today is May 6th. It's a big week. We had Cinco de Mayo yesterday, also Taco Tuesday, the confluence of that. But it's also my wife's birthday today, so I'd love to wish the lovely Miss Courtney a happy birthday. My kids, tried to get them to follow through on some birthday stuff. They were not much of a help, but I did get her some things. And then we got Mother's Day at the end of the week.
Yes.
So it's a big week for her, but wanted to wish her a happy birthday. It's wild. I sent out, there's some pictures. Fish was like, how old were you in one of those? Like, probably 21, 22. I've been with my wife more than half of my life now. And then there's one even from like her graduation party. And I mean, she looks like a baby, like we're in college. And the one guy, my friends who used to run clubs, he's like, what's that in her drink right there? I'm like, I think that's a Red Bull vodka from back in the day. That was her go-to. So
that's awesome.
It was fun to see that. So a big happy birthday to her. She gets younger every year, man.
That's amazing, man. It's awesome. Love it. Big shout out to her as well. Happy birthday. Like you mentioned, we started off the week with May the 4th for all the Star Wars fans out there, and then we'll end it with Mother's Day. And so, I want to ask you
Mother Lover's Day, I think. Has Cole seen that skit?
I don't think we've shown him that.
No,
we haven't shown him personally.
What are we speaking of?
The Lonely Island Boys. It's got a little
I'm familiar with some of their work.
Justin Timberlake.
Oh, in the box?
No,
this is that one.
So In the Box is first. Mother Lovers is second.
Matty Ice remixed that one time.
And then
with the stick in the box.
Exactly. And then the third one is about Lady Gaga's in that one as well. And that's something about 3 folks involved.
We do have to show TLC those.
You should
and
watch those. They're pretty
Choosy
good.
Doozy, like he's got to see that. What is it? Was that something Claus?
Yes.
Everybody getting something.
Yes.
You guys used to show me that one back in the day, but he's got to tap it. And I don't know
How
if
has Rothman not shown him this stuff?
we've suggested a lot of these things, but because that was when we were all in one office.
Well,
you, myself,
you can turn
and
the
Aaron.
sound on. Some of these things, it's. I don't know how appropriate it is for the lyrics to be floating around the office.
Can you watch these music videos on a plane?
Oh, yeah, they're not.
Yeah.
There's nothing inappropriate about seeing them. It's just some of the
Suggestive,
lyrics.
yeah. They're very
Suggestive
colorful lyrics, yeah, to say the least. Speaking of list, where are you with the movie list, TLC? Have you watched any of the movies that have
of
been...
course I haven't.
What are you watching right now, then?
Playing a bunch of MLB The Show.
Okay, so he's on the game. Look, he's got a new girlfriend. He's playing the game. He's got a lot going on in his life right
We're
now.
not a couple that watches shows together, though.
Why not?
What do you do?
Yeah, what do you guys do? You guys are active. Like, you guys are out doing things a lot, right?
Socially. We're not talking like Rothman style.
Yeah. We go hang out on golf courses with Rothman, and he gets us into all the VIP area. No. I don't know. Just like we're not like technology based. We actually I actually like put the phone down when I walk in, and I don't even look at it until I leave.
I like that. I do like that.
Except for setting it in the tripod.
That part, I mean, you need.
That's Rothman all day.
Wheeling that in.
Yeah, we use her tripod from 10 TV, and we use my phone.
Oh, so it's a work deal.
Company Inc., I guess.
That's good. There we go.
Okay. No, but I think
I love that.
You mentioned you guys aren't a couple that watches shows together.
Correct.
If
You
and
sit
when
there
you
and
guys
talk,
get
have
to
debates,
that.
play agenda.
We rehearse for her to hit the next day.
You can never watch episodes in advance from your partner. If you're
my
watching
wife did
something
that.
together,
I love her, but when I was going into work, we were watching, I caught her, and she flinched before. I was like, what do you mean? How do you... and I'm like, exactly. Exactly. I'm out here working. I was with you and Rod. I'm gone. I come back. We were watching tonight. And she's like, well, had an hour. I was free. I'm like, you wanted to get the spoilers. Yeah. You wanted to see what was happening.
Party foul. So you guys get to that point, TLC. You can never watch episodes before she gets to... You got to do it together because you'll be in the doghouse.
I know the rules.
You'll be in the
Unless you set it up beforehand. Hey, I'm going to be gone this weekend. I'll watch them when I'm doing whatever, and then set a fixed number of what's going to happen.
I used to love Thrones so much, and still do. And you know this because you watched me do it. And I would watch episodes in the office.
Oh, yeah.
Like trying to get caught up. We'd break it all down together. It was sicko stuff around the office,
There's
TLC.
Game of Thrones at work?
It was...
You pull it up on your computer. Watch on HBO
Were you
Go.
on the incognito browser when you did it? Oh, my goodness.
HR could have fired me on the spot.
Yeah, they could have come through and just walked behind you and be like, whoa.
And I tell you what, there was just something, that's the only show that I can remember, like being a part of, to where it felt like, Bobby, the world was stopping.
Yeah. On
Sunday nights at 9 o'clock. And it was just, that's all my social media feed was. And then I'd come into work, Bo, everybody was just talking about we're diving into family trees and all type of stuff. Like
I still have the
unbelievable.
I told him I still have a spreadsheet that has all the houses and the sigils and the relationships of everybody. It's like a full family tree.
He hasn't got to that yet, but I just, for me, one day, please, just chip away at it.
Is that family tree kind of like, the branches are crossing?
Not really. Once you get into it, a little bit.
Well,
but
I haven't watched it, but I've heard about it.
It's early on. Once you get through the first season,
it's like a family circle.
Well, there's a little bit of that.
Just keeping the power in the family.
It's like, the flow, it went right back to where it started. How'd that work?
All you guys have blonde hair. Interesting how that worked out. You guys look the exact same.
The seed is strong.
Yeah, no doubt. Pre-snap reads is around the corner. We'll hear from Dabo Sweetie. TLC, is he leaning into a little bit of Clemson is now, a little guy? Is that where
He claims. He says it's always been that way and it's still that way. And any success is, I guess, a credit to him. He didn't say it like that, but that's kind of what he said.
Do we agree with what Dabo was saying? We'll talk about it next. It's Rothman Ice right here on The Fan.
The only workplace in America to participate in the Doorknob Fart Game. And we also play office basketball and sometimes do radio. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
This spring, celebrate the women who made you, raised you, and stood by you. Hi, it's Alex Johnson from the Diamond Cellar. For over 78 years, whether it's for Mother's Day, an anniversary, graduation, or just because, we've had the perfect gifts for the women who mean the world to you. At Diamond Cellar, you'll find timeless jewelry they'll cherish forever because every woman deserves a little sparkle. For all your spring gifting needs, visit Diamond Cellar on Selma Road and at Easton Town Center, or shop online at diamondcellar.com.
Every time you pull onto a job site, your name pulls in with you. That's why the pros trust Bobcat equipment. Buy the machine you're proud to run, backed by the crew that's been serving the industry since 1975. That's 50 years of showing up, long after you receive the keys. Bobcat Enterprises is here for you with 9 locations serving Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana. On every job, you deserve a team that stands behind you. Visit bobcatent.com to learn more.
Mortgage rates have dropped, and the best news is they're expected to go down even more. Hi, I'm Mark Stefanski, Chairman and CEO of Third Federal. If you've been thinking about buying a new home, now is the time. And with Third Federal's Buy Now, Refi Later program, you don't have to wait for rates to drop again. You get the guaranteed lowest rate now, and if rates drop later, even after you close, you can refinance to a lower rate for free. That's right, for free. And now with Third Federal's early rate lock, you can lock in the guaranteed lowest rate even before you find a house. So you'll always have the best rate. So don't wait. Call Third Federal today and lock in the guaranteed lowest rate.
Right now at Third Federal, lock in 5.99% APR 6.02% on a 30-year fixed rate purchase mortgage and refinance later if rates go down for free. Visit thirdfederal.com or call 1-800-3rd-FED today. APR reflects 15% down for $350,000 loan amount. Rate requires automatic payment program and is subject to change. Restrictions apply. See conditions for buy now, refi later. Lowest rate guarantee and early rate lock at thirdfederal.com. Equal housing lender.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to Markdowns for Miles at AutoZone.
Thanks. Is oil marked down?
Save up to $15 when you buy 5 quarts and a filter.
And fuel treatment?
2 for $9 on Lucas.
Brake pads?
Marked down to free.
Free?
Get free Duralast brake pads when you buy 2 Duralast rotors.
That's several markdowns.
For many more miles.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Jake from State Farm. I just beat my running PR, so I'm celebrating with the Banana Bonanza smoothie.
Hey, and you can keep celebrating when you create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. Go bananas.
I will. Hey, make it a large.
Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Feeling stressed or overwhelmed? Not sure how to get the mental health help you need? We've got your back. Call the Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office at 855-438-6442. We'll help you figure out what mental health benefits may be in your health plan. No more confusion, just the support you deserve. Call the Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office at 855-438-6442.
Hi, I'm Josie. My daughter turns 5 today. Blow out the candles. I'm also an Ohio State Highway Patrol trooper. When you move over and slow down, you're not only giving me room to work, you're making sure I can get home to celebrate with my daughter.
Roadside workers have lives and families, but when they're on the job, they put it all on the line to protect and serve us. When you see flashing lights, remember, they're not just roadside workers. Thank you for moving over and slowing down.
Brought to you by ODOT, USDOT, NHTSA, and ODPS.
Good news. Jack has personally invited the fan to the Memorial Tournament, and we're broadcasting 30 hours of live content, and we'll try not to embarrass ourselves.
Sponsored by Ohio for Responsible Gambling. Visit pausebeforeyouplay.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Cloudy skies eventually become mostly sunny throughout the day, with our temperatures getting up into the upper 50s to low 60s, and then for tonight, becoming mostly clear overnight with our lows into the upper 30s to low 40s. For Thursday, we will see clouds increase, but overall a pretty lovely day with temperatures in the upper 50s to low 60s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 weather impact forecast.
There's nothing Bo Bishop can't do well, except find competent co-hosts. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan. Rothman and Ice present Pre-Snap Reads.
Sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Dr. Mark Levy today at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP.
All right, so Clemson's coming off a season. They go 7-6, 10-4 the year before that, 9-4 the year before that. But it's been a long time since we've seen them back at the top of them. Actually, not that long of a time, honestly. I mean, they won the Natty, back in 2019, but it just felt like there was so much momentum behind those couple of seasons that they'd be in the inner circle a little bit more.
It was
recently.
the 2018 season, 2019. And remember, they beat Ohio State in 19 to go back. And it felt like they shouldn't have won that one. The next year, Ohio State plays them and beats them down.
Mm-hmm.
And since that time, like, they made it back not in 25, but 24 they made it. They slid in. It looked okay. And so this was supposed to be the year with Cade Klubnik. They had 9 guys drafted.
Yeah.
9 guys.
Right.
They were like top 4 teams with guys drafted. And yet you're 7-5?
What is that?
Like, that's my point.
It's one thing for Ohio State to have 4 guys in the first round, but to have the season they had.
Yes.
And then there's another part of this where it's like, what was Clemson doing? What is that, a coaching thing? Because it can't be your conference is just that tough.
No, their conference isn't any good.
That's what I'm saying. Life in the ACC, that's not a good conference right now. And so coming off a year to where they're a game above 500, the vibes around this program, has the standard been lowered? Has the bar been lowered? Let's hear from Dabo Swinney on the perception of Clemson and where they are.
We always got to, have a chip on our shoulder. I mean, because it just is what it is. We don't have the alumni base that some places have. We don't have some of the things that some of the schools that we've played and had to compete with over the years have. It's just the way it is. But I've always we're 3-1 against Ohio State. We're 4-2 against Notre Dame. I mean, Notre Dame has their own TV station. They make their own rules. They print their own money. They got like a money machine in the backyard or something. We've beaten Texas A&M a couple times. We've beaten Oklahoma a couple times. We've won 4 in a row against Auburn. I mean, we've beaten Nick Saban in Alabama in 2 national championships. And so we've done all of that at Clemson. I mean, again, when I got the job here, prior to our tenure here, Clemson hadn't won the ACC in 20 years.
Okay, so I hear what he's saying, but I don't view them as a little cute program around the sport, Bobby. I don't look at it that way. The way he's trying to sell it, to me, it feels that way to me. But I think a few down years, to me, doesn't take away from what you are as a program, what you can be.
You're teetering, though. They're teetering on the fact that they're going back to being a program that isn't in the... My man Jacob Hester called them the benefit of the doubt club. We're like coming in, like even though they were down last year, we've got these guys, we brought these guys in. They always get it right. Maybe not national championship, but they'll be in the mix.
Yeah.
Come mid-November, like you're still talking about them. They win this game, they get in the CFP, maybe they can win a game or 2. And I think when he burst onto the scene, it was like, hey, we're the little team. And then all of a sudden it's like, we're done with Clemsoning. We've gotten here. We're to the top. We've beaten these teams. And now all of a sudden, just because their resources are in a pretty tough spot, because he's in the ACC, and they don't have, that's why he didn't really throw anything about Ohio State. I think he threw out Notre Dame because they're kind of quasi in there. They print their own money. How are we supposed to be able to compete with Notre Dame? They're in the ACC, or they're kind of in the ACC, but they have their own TV deal. And by the way, they've got a huge alumni base that now is engaged, and Marcus Freeman's coaching there, and they're really good, and they bring in great players. Like, how am I supposed to compete with that? Now we're like little old Clemson again, even though they were done with that before. And so I think it's him trying to recalibrate those expectations a little bit on what they are.
I hear what he's saying about the NIL aspect of this, but he's also the same head coach that kind of pushed back a little bit on the adding via the transfer portal stuff.
A little bit.
A lot lot. He didn't want anything to do. He didn't want anything to do with that. And so part of this is his own doing.
Yes.
Is his ability or lack thereof to drop in right now talent with guys that you can bring in from the portal. For whatever reason, he didn't want to do it.
But he doesn't need it to. He just had 4 guys drafted in the top 50.
I hear what you're saying for
But why
sure, right?
aren't
But
they
I
winning
think
then?
you could drop a guy
I
or
don't know.
a few other guys in the portal. I'm not saying you got to go crazy, right? But I think you could grab a few of those guys coming out that maybe could change what your record looks like and change what your easy in-season success looks like. But the thing that's really killing him is like this isn't a murderer's row of teams that you have to go through, right, to get into the college football playoff. Miami is emerging as a threat, and it feels to me, Bobby, they're going to be around for a little bit under Cristobal with what he's got going. But there aren't a handful of teams that we're talking about year in and year out coming out of the ACC that are true threats.
Florida State's down. Now Virginia is back. They just signed their coach to a big deal.
Okay.
Bennett. And if he did that, like Virginia's got some cash. They've got some loot. Virginia Tech, remember, they just hired James Franklin. They made a big commitment to him. Like, he's not taking that unless he feels like they've got the resources to push behind it. Now, the reality is, like, Ohio State's getting $90 million from the TV deal.
Deals, yeah.
I mean, there's schools in the ACC are getting 26, 27. So
it's a big deal.
It's a big difference.
Right.
Now, Ohio State also, with that in mind, they have 36 varsity sports to feed. So there's a lot there that they've got to take care of. But that's where that asymmetry is beginning to happen. Plus, SMU's in the conference now. They got a lot of cash. They got Jennings coming back at quarterback. Rhett Lashley's a good coach. Like, they made the tournament. They want to get back there.
There's some teams moving on up, to your point. Georgia Tech's been in the mix, making some noise over the last few years and picking off some good teams. And so, yeah, they are I still think they're in the upper echelon of the ACC, but they're barely hanging on to that. Barely hanging on to that.
When they lost both coordinators, they haven't recovered from that yet either.
Yeah, that was a big deal because he brought in
what's his name from TCU?
Lincoln Riley's brother.
Yes.
Garrett Riley. And that's just been okay. It's the quarterback stuff too.
That's
like
the thing.
not
Klubnik hasn't been
having
good.
Right because
they had DJ. He wasn't all that great.
No.
They had someone else in there, I thought, too.
No, it went DJ straight to Klubnik.
Straight to Klubnik because DJ was supposed to be the answer.
Correct.
And then they benched him for Klubnik.
Yes, and then Klubnik was supposed to be the answer. And so then coming into this year, he's going to be the guy. He's going to take that step. He was supposed to be, like Julian's done all these mock drafts. Who cares? These people are idiots. They had Cade Klubnik up there. He was a Heisman finalist. Drew Aller's all these guys. Well, he didn't take that step.
That's the
and they had 9 other guys drafted, so it's not like there wasn't some talent around them.
It's what's happening under center. Because to your guys' point, coming out of that Trevor Lawrence window of time, right? Because we saw that game. I think it was Notre Dame where
Deshaun of the dead.
Yeah, Deshaun and all that, and all the receivers that they had.
Yes.
But they had a difference maker under center, and Cade Klubnik was supposed to be this massive dual threat that you could have on Saturdays.
Well, DJ was supposed to be that before. And he won that game at Notre Dame, and you felt pretty good about it.
He went off in that game.
And then never really got any better.
No, he didn't. It's crazy because with his skill set, you would think that there was at least a safe floor with him, but there never was that. And he went from Oregon State to Florida State.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. Yeah, so that's tough.
And then the rub on both of the defensive linemen who came out this year, Peter Woods and TJ Parker, was that like at their best they can take over, but they disappear for like a half of the game.
Yeah.
And so it sounds like they're just not maximizing their guys.
Would you have liked running down that hill?
It's a pretty cool entrance they have.
I think it's but as a player,
night game
with all that, like, would you have liked that, or would you just been so jacked up for the game?
If it's what it is, like, and that's what they do, then I'm fine with it.
I think, aren't they the program that they have to get on the bus to ride to that entrance?
Around, they hit the rock and everything. Like, that's a little quirky, but I mean, it's a pretty cool deal.
It is. And you touched on James Franklin, man. If he gets that thing in order, that's one of those stadiums where we know, you talk about entrances.
Oh, yeah.
In all those sports, that is an elite entrance right there, what they got going on. And so, yeah, I think Clemson's one of those programs right now to me that has a bunch to prove this year if we want to bring it in.
They've got a pretty tough schedule, I think, too.
Do they? I want to check that out.
We'll do that.
So the Clemson schedule, they will go, so they host Miami. The game before that, Bobby, they go out to Cal. I like Cal's quarterback. The second-year lefty that they have, I think he's a really good player, has a chance to be that. They'll host Virginia Tech, and then they'll go to Duke. So it's, out of the gate, this is what's in your mind probably.
LSU.
Is at LSU. Yeah, dealing with Lane Kiffin.
So they got Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
I mean, they got some teams like Florida State's up against it now, too, like with Mike Norvell. So they've got to find a way to win. Duke is in there. South Carolina, they're going to be pressed against it. I mean, start looking at this. I mean, Miami, Virginia Tech. I mean, they could go 8-4, 9-3. They also could go 7-5 again.
And they'll host Bill. They'll host Bill Belichick.
They almost got him. Chapel Bill almost got him there last year. I think that game went to overtime, or it was right at the end, and North Carolina didn't score. They went for it, I think, to go get him. I don't know if it's a 2-point or whatever happened, but they let me pull that up real quick. I want to see, because I remember watching that game and thinking, oh, never mind. That was 38-10. They smoked them. That was North Carolina. I think that was against Virginia or something.
Yeah, so Bill in year 2 down there, what is that going to look like?
They're going to be up against it.
Will we hear from the misses? How much will we hear from the misses?
It's a great question.
You're thinking of Louisville?
Louisville, they barely beat Louisville.
2019.
Yeah, no, I'm
just looking at final scores.
North Carolina played somebody tight, and I've got it. That's what I thought it was Clemson. Who did they lose to? Oh, Virginia in OT. They had them 17-16. That was when Virginia was rolling. They were 16th in the country.
Those are your pre-snap reads for today. Coming up in 2 minutes, we'll continue our college football talk with Brad Crawford from CBS and 24/7 Sports. We're Rothman Ice right here on The Fan.
Newman Roofing, as part of their 2026 Commitment to Community initiative, is proud to partner with 10 TV and The Fan to relaunch Raise the Roof, honoring local heroes going above and beyond. We are calling on you to help us recognize the volunteers, educators, first responders, and everyday difference makers who are making a meaningful impact in your community to be recognized on 10 TV and The Fan. Send in your nominations and stories to 10tv.com/Raise the Roof. 10tv.com/Raise the Roof. Nominate a local hero today and help us raise the roof for those who make a difference.
As the old saying goes, size matters.
At Morgan & Morgan, we have over 1,000 lawyers and nearly 6,000 people on staff.
But at the core, this is and always has been a family business.
Our family watching out for your family.
Call us or email us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even on a Saturday or a Sunday.
And if you ever have a problem, call our mom.
Morgan & Morgan.
For the people and your family.
Injured? Dial pound law.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Does your HVAC struggle through this rough winter? When it comes to your home comfort, trust the local experts at Columbus Worthington Air. Right now, you can save up to $2,000 on a new HVAC system with our trade-in allowance program. At CWA, we treat your home like it's our own, with safe, reliable service backed by our exceptional service guarantee. Columbus Worthington Air and Bryant Heating and Cooling. Whatever it takes. Visit CWAOhio.com/radio for details, terms, and conditions. License number 47543.
I love Right Pack Credit Union because they're solution driven.
I feel valued as a member.
They're focused on the latest technology and the personal connections.
Experience benefits that go beyond banking with Right Pack Credit Union. Just ask our actual members.
I definitely recommend Right Pack to all my family and friends as a credit union of choice.
Visit one of our Columbus area Right Pack Credit Union member centers near you. Based on individual members' experiences, results may vary.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
The perfect ratio of sports talk, dogs, pro wrestling, and gambling advice.
It's science.
You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
That you are. Welcome back in. Bobby Carpenter in the building today for AR. Going to light up right now the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline and bring on Brad Crawford. Does an awesome job covering college football over at CBS Sports. Brad, welcome in. How are you, my man?
Hey, good to hear from y'all, man. How y'all doing?
Good. Thanks for your time, as always. We definitely appreciate that. We were reacting to, in our prior segment, some comments from Dabo Sweeney and where he is right now with the perception of his program and the landscape of college football. And he brought up the NIL component of this and how a program like Notre Dame has more resources and how other programs have more resources. Where are you at right now with Clemson and kind of the standard and where that is now currently for that university?
Yeah, Dabo Sweeney certainly has earned the benefit of the doubt as a two-time champion, but, man, college football has passed him by. He has not been kind to the transfer portal era. He's still doing things a archaic, prehistoric way in Death Valley. And, for him to be a preseason top 5 coach last fall with a team that wound up having a school record 9 draft picks, to go 7-6 in a down ACC outside of Miami, that says a lot about where the program is and just how he has failed to live up to, expectations that he has set for himself. So all this poor mouthing about Notre Dame prints its own money and Ohio State has, better resources than Clemson. The Tigers still have one of the top facilities in the country. They're still signing some elite classes, and they're in the least most difficult Power Four, and they're not winning.
So I guess that's where I look at this. And you mentioned 9 guys drafted. I mean, how much of that, the 7 and 6 last year, was Cade Klubnik and maybe his failure to develop versus just coaching in general? As you have success, your coaches get plucked away, and their inability to maybe replace some of those elite coordinators that had been there for so long.
Yeah, they hired Tom Allen last year to coach the defense, and Clemson's defense last season was not up to par. I think it was mid-tier scoring defense, yards allowed. And for the Tigers, a team that produced 4 or 5 draft picks on that side of the football, that's pretty low in the ACC. And then we know Cade Klubnik was a projected first-rounder, this time last year, a preseason Heisman frontrunner along with a few others, and just really did not have a great senior season for the Tigers. Struggled under Garrett Riley, and that's part of the reason, man, that Dabo Sweeney fired Garrett Riley after his 3rd season as play caller and brought the old gang back together with Chad Morris.
Talking all things college football with Brad Crawford from CBS Sports. Let's stay down there in the ACC and talk about Bill Belichick and where you think he is now going into another year down there in Chapel Hill, right? Because it's still kind of crazy for me, Brad, to realize what exactly is happening with that program and who is their head coach. But it is what it is at this point. But has he built enough via the portal or the old school recruiting way for you to look at where they are and the outlook over the next couple of years to feel like North Carolina is going to be in the mix down there, or no?
A mix for an ACC title? No. They're still not spending enough for that. Despite being in the ACC, UNC is always going to be a blue blood basketball school. And after hiring Mike Malone and a lot of the money being funneled toward that in Chapel Hill, I still think that's the program to watch on the hardwood. But as far as Bill Belichick is concerned, man, the schedule is going to always be favorable because it is the ACC, but he just has not impressed in terms of talent development, talent retain, or, signing guys out of the portal. They signed 4 quarterbacks this cycle, and including a Western Carolina transfer who might wind up being the starter unless, the guy from Maryland is. So, for UNC to have a good year, I think maybe 7 and 5 is probably the ceiling. But Bill Belichick, I don't see him sticking around too much longer in Chapel Hill. I see his son probably taking over in 2027 or so.
So outside of Miami, other people that are big spenders, contenders that could potentially come out of the ACC?
Louisville. Yeah. I think Louisville and SMU are the teams that are challenging Miami right now for that top spot. I've got Miami, Bobby, as my number 1 preseason team in my post-spring rankings. I think Darian Mensah and the Hurricanes are going to run roughshod through that conference and win that league. But I do think Louisville has a chance. Lincoln Kienholz, the former backup quarterback at Ohio State, he's finally got a chance to shine, man. And in Jeff Brom's offense, I think Lincoln's going to have a terrific year. And they were able to keep Isaac Brown, too. He's probably a 1,200-yard running back that Texas tried to, tamper with and get to transfer, but it didn't work out for the Horns.
Brad, let's bring you into the Big Ten and get your thoughts on Penn State now that they've added Matt Campbell. We were talking earlier just about expectations for certain programs and where that is now for Penn State post James Franklin now that he's down there at Virginia Tech. So when you look at Matt Campbell now taking over, do you think it should be the same expectations right away from that fan base, or do you look at it the other way and you're like, Matt Campbell's going to need some time to build this thing up to have Penn State as maybe a consistent college football playoff team?
I think he's going to need 2 or 3 seasons to maybe use some of the advanced resources he has now in Happy Valley compared to what he had at Iowa State. I mean, I look at this 2026 Nittany Lions roster, and I basically see a Big 12 team trying to compete in what I consider college football's toughest conference. This is going to be largely too deep of Iowa State guys. And, for every Rocco Beck all-conference player, you've got guys that probably wouldn't start at Penn State in other years. So I think Penn State's probably a 7 or 8 win team this season, which would be decent considering you just, fired a coach and have a new one in there. But I don't see Penn State competing for a playoff spot, at least in Matt Campbell's first or second season. down the road, possibly so. But when you lose guys like, Amari Campbell and Chaz Coleman, some of the guys on defense that Jim Knowles took with him to Tennessee, there's going to be some drop-off there.
How many teams in the Big Ten do you believe, Brad, can ultimately compete and potentially win a national championship? Who would those teams be?
I think there's 5 Big Ten teams that could make the playoff this season. I don't know if there's 5 national championship contenders, though. I think Ohio State, Oregon, and Indiana are my 3 title contenders. And then I'd probably put USC and Michigan in that playoff, kind of fighting for a spot mix. USC has number 1 signing class in college football. I know a lot of those true freshmen aren't going to have big-time roles for Lincoln Riley, but a few of those guys are. Mark Bowman at tight end, he's probably going to be a freshman All-American player. And some of the guys that Kyle Whittingham brought with him at Utah, not even player-wise, but coaching personnel with Jason Beck calling plays. I'm looking forward to seeing, if Bryce Underwood can take that next step as a quarterback, or is Tommy Carr going to be the next guy in line to be a very good, Big Ten signal caller? But Oregon, Ohio State, and Indiana right now are my 3 teams that I think if the Big Ten wins a 4th straight title, it'll come out of one of those 3.
So you mentioned Lincoln Riley getting the number 1 recruiting class, potentially turning around. They've kind of woefully underachieved with his tenure there. I mean, is this his opportunity to turn it around? Should he be on the hot seat here? How do we feel about the men of Troy at this point?
I think especially he has to show that this team can win a true Big Ten road game. I mean, prior to last season, I think he had lost like 5 consecutive games on the road against, not so great competition. Minnesota being one of them. Maryland, I think, was another one. And this is USC. They have better rosters than 90% of college football teams they're going to play. But this season, USC they get Oregon, Washington, and Ohio State at home. And I think the 2 big road games are Happy Valley in October, and then they go to Indiana in late November. So if USC can get to 10 wins, I think the schedule is good enough in the eyes of the CFP committee where a 10-2 finish probably gets USC in that 12-team bracket.
Let's go down to the SEC, Brad, and I want to lock in on LSU. And your thoughts on Lincoln Riley's ability to hit the ground running right away in year 1. Has he and his staff done enough this offseason? Is there enough talent left over from the Brian Kelly era for you to look at LSU as a real threat within that conference and maybe beyond when we get to the postseason?
I mean, it looks like the Tigers hit the lotto in the transfer portal, and that's part of it. But we said the same thing about Brian Kelly's final season too, and it didn't pan out. Garrett Nussmeier got hurt during fall camp. A $6 million offensive line did not protect its big-time investment in Nussmeier, and we saw what happened. I think for Lane Kiffin, Sam Leavitt has to stay injury-free. That's a top-rated portal quarterback this cycle from Arizona State. He has to be a guy, and then you look at some of the offensive linemen LSU signed, including Jordan Seaton, who's estimated making about $3.5 million this season. He's got to be a difference maker at that left or right tackle spot for LSU to be good. And then some of the 5 stars they signed out of the portal and this freshman class. I mean, we're talking about basically Lane Kiffin trying to catch lightning in a bottle in year 1. And we saw Mike Norvell do it a couple of years ago in year 2 at Florida State with sort of a similar game plan in the portal. And obviously Lane Kiffin has had roster turnover every year at Ole Miss and still been very good. So I think LSU can get there. I don't see LSU as a CFP championship contender, however.
Who are the championship contenders in the SEC or the CFP potential participants, and is that group in your mind better than the top of the Big Ten?
Yeah, the only title contender that could be left standing in January, I think, is Texas. Georgia's a team that's probably going to get to the playoff. I don't see Georgia winning because of all the personnel losses along the offensive line and the back end of that defense. But Texas is a team that spent more than anybody outside of LSU this portal cycle. They have a quarterback they love in Arch Manning, and then Colin Simmons, probably the best player on anybody's starting defense this season at edge. I'm looking forward to that Texas-Ohio State game on the 40 acres in week 2. I think the winner of that game likely gets the 1 or 2 seed in the postseason.
Good stuff. Brad, as always, we appreciate your time and enjoy the rest of spring and summer, and we'll talk to you soon, my man. Appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, fellas.
Yeah, Brad Crawford from CBS Sports joined us via the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. We will hit the finish line of today's show with Tell the Truth next. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
A lot of hosts have been on our airways in the past 30 years. Some good, some bad, some really bad. Anyway, sorry for that. The Fan.
Planning to buy a home in 2026? Not sure where to start? The Ohio Housing Finance Agency can help. With a step-by-step homebuyer's guide and financial tools, the Ohio Housing Finance Agency can make homeownership part of your future. Eligible homebuyers may qualify for down payment assistance and reduced mortgage interest rates. To see if you qualify and to find a mortgage lender, visit myohiohome.org.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone for Window Nation. May's weather is pretty nice, but those hot summer days will be here soon, which means high utility bills from your AC running constantly. Don't wait until the heat hits to try and avoid the extra energy costs. Upgrade your home's windows this month during Window Nation's Buy 4, Get 4 free sale. Imagine replacing all your windows and getting half of them for free. Plus, you could even get them with no money down and no monthly payment or interest for 2 years. Older windows and even some newer builder-grade windows don't always seal tightly. So your cool AC can slowly slip outside without you even noticing. And your energy bills take the hit. Window Nation windows are built with insulated glass, strong frames, and tight seals that fit just right. You get a cooler, more comfortable house, and you could even see lower energy bills the first month. They're so good, Window Nation offers a lifetime warranty. Plus, they're rated A+ by the Better Business Bureau. Don't wait to put an end to your window problems. Save big with Window Nation's Buy 4, Get 4 free sale going on now. The sale ends soon, so book your consultation at windownation.com.
Hey, it's Anthony here for the Good Feet store. This is the time. You want to be outside. You need to be outside. But do you really want to be on your feet if they're killing you? That's why I went to the Good Feet store. I stressed about knowing I would be standing at a multiple-hour event or even playing in a golf tourney where I knew I would be walking. But when I got fitted for my personal arch supports, it changed the game for me in a great way. I honestly feel much better supported and aligned, and it's taken the pressure off my lower back. I could feel the difference instantly in my test walk at the store. Just a solid foundation right from the get-go. And now, every day, everything feels a little better. Their experts will personally fit you like they did me. And do what I did. Take the test walk around the store and you'll feel the difference. I've learned it all starts with the feet. And when you get the proper support, everything feels better. You can make an appointment online or just stop in the Good Feet store. They're in Grove City or on Polaris Parkway in Westerville. Or get started right now at goodfeet.com.
Feeling stressed or overwhelmed? Not sure how to get the mental health help you need? We've got your back. Call the Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office at 855-438-6442. We'll help you figure out what mental health benefits may be in your health plan. No more confusion, just the support you deserve. Call the Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office at 855-438-6442.
Hey everybody, it's Berm here, Jeremy Birmingham from the Austin and Berm Show on 97.1 The Fan. Last year I heard Austin's 40 by the 4th message just like everybody else, and I remember thinking to myself, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And then I did what a lot of people do, nothing. And that's why I like Reclaim by Awaken 180 so much now, because it's really about finally taking the advice of people who've actually done it and gotten real results. This is not people guessing. This is not people talking. People who've been there, who I finally listened to. And I dropped 35 pounds in just 7 weeks with Awaken 180. Then I lost 5 more in free maintenance mode. That's why this hits different for me now. Reclaim by Awaken 180 gives you a clear plan, a defined window, and a real finish line. And if you want a powerful goal inside that window, 40 by the 4th is right there. It's not eventually. It's not one of these days. It's right now. So maybe this year, you do what I should have done last year. Go to awaken180weightloss.com. 844-346-1800. Awaken180weightloss.com.
In the old days when people lived to be 40, you only had one option for listening to your favorite show. But now, ooh, baby, radio, podcast, the Fan app, and YouTube, ooh, just to name a few, live or on demand. You have no excuses. The Fan.
The Fan Poll is sponsored by JT's Pizza and Pub, home of award-winning pizza and $2 tall boys. All day, every day.
Tell the truth with Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by McDaniel GM Superstore. Driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
All right, TLC, take us to the crib. What do you got cooked up today? And tell the truth.
All right, would you actually enjoy a full-time work-from-home job, or would you eventually get bored not going anywhere?
Ooh, I wouldn't hate having a full-time work-from-home job. Like, I like to get out. I'll go work out and do some different things. Also, it's not the end of the world. I know some people like to socialize and do all that. I've always been get in, get out, do your job, do it really well, prepare when you need to. So working from home probably wouldn't be the worst thing in the world for me, and I've got a pretty nice home office setup.
See, for me, TLC, it's honestly scary how okay I am with not having human interaction for a long, long time. So I think I would be good. Like, I'm in the clear with working from home. I don't think that I would be missing much. I think that's me being an only child, honestly, like in how I grew up and having to kind of figure it out with our brothers and sisters. So I think I'd be perfectly okay with working from home every day the rest of my life.
The rest of your life? Now, Bobby, because Rothman and Ice always reminisce about COVID and how they thought it was the greatest thing ever because they could just do their shows from home. Were you a big fan of the COVID radio back in the day?
Oh, yeah. It didn't bother me at all. I used to wake up, I'd work out, run, jog and everything, and I'd hop right on down in my office, dive in there and get it rolling. Like, I do all my XM stuff from home anyway, so I'd put the TV on, watch what I want to watch, maybe quad box some things. And if you want to go out and get a snack or something like that, it's all available to you.
Now, Bobby's got lots of kids, so I can see how, like, he still has the stimulation at home. With you, though,
It's me, myself, and I.
All day, every day?
I'm good. I'm telling you, it's kind of scary, man, how okay I am with that. I wouldn't need anything else, honestly.
You really are an only child, aren't you? Do you judge men who prefer cats over dogs?
So what's interesting is a lot of people like to get judgy with that. I have no pets right now. We have goldfish. I grew up with both cats and dogs. We had cats that were inside. Our dogs were not so much. So I kind of preferred cats a little bit. My man Steel Chambers, we do our show together, and he has a cat in his house that like crawls all over him during the show. I don't hate it. I'm not really judgy on it. Everybody's got their own preference. I know some people are like, you're a dude and you like cats. What's wrong with you? I think it's fine, man. Cats are a lot of fun.
I will only judge you if you have a furless cat. One of those cats that is just skin only.
No.
If you have that cat, man or woman, I'm judging you. But usually I'm okay. I love dogs. I like cats. The only reason why I don't love cats is because I feel like they don't like us as humans.
They don't love you back.
Yeah, they just like, hey, make sure I have what I need in my little bin or whatever, and I'm good.
The cat makes you earn your affection, Maddie. Like, that's the thing. It's just not going to blindly follow you. It's a little bit of like a Cersei Lannister. The lion has claws. You got to remember that.
Fair enough.
Bobby, I think if Maddie got a cat, I think they'd both be competing for who could ignore the other one the most.
That's right. That's accurate.
I think
that's a great point.
I think they'd be on opposite sides.
You would be made for cats, dude. You just look at each other and then turn away and go walking down.
You guys make some good points.
They would give each other the head nod when he walks in the door, and then just.
Here's the other thing about Maddie, is that cats are like super clean. They're always cleaning themselves and everything. Like, we know that Maddie's a little bit, on that spectrum. If he likes it all neat, be all put together. Yeah. Like, dude, dogs can be disheveled. They'll slobber all over the place. Dude, you never see that with a cat. Like, that's not in their wheelhouse.
You guys may be onto something. Maybe I am a cat guy at my core. Maybe I am, and I just don't know it.
Yeah, you told us a couple years ago that you were in the market for a Shiba Inu. You might be in the market for a cat, actually.
Maddie, can I interest you in a particular cat woman named Halle Berry?
Yes, you can.
That might be the delineating factor. There you go.
Or Anne Hathaway or Zoe Kravitz. Whatever cat woman. I'm in on all three.
Speaking of, what was that song that you guys told me to look up?
Mike Jones?
Mother Lover?
Oh, that one. Mother Lover. Okay.
Does it actually make a difference which city barbecue is from?
Ooh. I think yes. They all got their different sauces. And we know Rothman, he's all about the South. And that's a huge delineator. And I lived in Texas. I was up in St. Louis. My agent was in Memphis. Like, all these places have their own unique sauce of whether it's sweet, whether it's spicy, whether it's more vinegary. Like, it does. The meat is going to be the meat, man. And maybe you have your own twist on how you smoke it, but the sauce, Matty, that's what's going to be bringing it home.
I think you just nailed it. We've got some good barbecue spots around the city here. I did go to Kansas City. I've been there a couple times, and I remember saying to myself, this is different because of the range that they have in the sauce realm. So I absolutely agree with Bobby. I think you go to Kansas City, you go somewhere else, Texas, where they do barbecue well, the sauces, I think, are going to take it to higher heights. So, yeah, I'm with Bobby on that.
All right, let's round it out with his last one. How old is too old to be interested in going to see the Savannah Bananas?
I don't even know, what are the Savannah Bananas?
Exactly.
It's like the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball, I think would be a fair way to describe it.
Yeah.
The circus
I
act.
have seen that now. Yeah, they've got all the little nuance. Yeah. We talked about this before. I'm all in for some fun. You're sitting outside. As long as you're going to give me some cocktails and some good company to be down there, I can have a couple drinks and laugh at anything.
Yeah, I think I would enjoy, if somebody invited me, TLC, I would go. I don't think me personally, I'm going to seek out tickets and buy them myself. I'll give them this. It looks like they're putting butts in seats. Like, this thing has really grown up.
Oh, I think they just sold out Kyle Field.
It's crazy. Like, they've been at Yankee Stadium. They've been here at Huntington. They've bounced around and put up some good numbers. So I think the kids love it. I think it's entertaining. And, yeah, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Bobby, we appreciate you, big dog. You enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll catch up with you soon.
Oh, buddy, can't wait. Thanks for having me in, guys.
Anytime. Appreciate you there. There's Tell the Truth for today. Coming up next, it's going to be Common Man and Timmy. No Timmy in the house today. Joshua Perry in the building with Common Man. Nicole Sheeran's going to stop by at 3:30. We will be back tomorrow at high noon. Adam Schefter is going to join us then, so make sure you join us as well. TLC, great job on the board.
Thank
Folks,
you.
as always, you're welcome. We love you. Stay safe out there. We'll talk to you tomorrow at high noon. We're Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
Common Man, a radio veteran, has a large hemorrhoid. Timmy Hall, a good, clean boy, moonlights as man's hemorrhoid. Common Man and Timmy.
Weekdays at 3.
The Fan.